What's going on? My name is Larry.
Sam.
And Lionel, and this is Top when we talk anime and One Piece. Woo! Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 233, where we talking One Piece, chapter 1168. You know what I'm saying? That's for the agenda today. We're not going to touch any One Piece episodes. It's a 3-hour pod. Also, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. It helps us out greatly. And for all the Spotify, Apple Podcast listeners, what up? How y'all doing? People on Facebook seeing this for the first time, how y'all doing? Lawrence, how y'all doing?
I'm doing all right.
Sebastian, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well.
How you doing?
Wait, you say we're not going to do the newest episode?
Probably not. You want to?
I thought we. I don't know. I thought we were because the whole Joy Boy hockey thing.
I mean, break week next week.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I feel like that's better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see the vision.
Yeah. And Lionel will be here next week. And then for those that do not know, just yet, I'm pretty sure almost everyone knows, we're doing our top 30 December 19th.
The Dirty 30.
The Dirty 30.
The Dirty 30.
That's an inappropriate joke coming from you.
What?
Yeah. Saying Dirty 30.
Why is that inappropriate? I'm serious, though. Why is that?
Have you been dirty, Sebastian?
What? No.
There's no answer for Sebastian, so we got confirmation. He's been dirty. Been nasty. It was Mr. Nasty Time.
It's Mr. Nasty Time.
Marv, you gotta get that voice thing. It's Mr. Nasty Time. All right, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we're gonna discuss One Piece chapter 1168, and we're gonna hit some super chats before we go into the chapter. There will be timestamps, so you could just jump towards the chapter when we start doing it. Okay. But other than that, Seb, let's read about 10 super chats, and then we'll go straight into the chapter.
Yeah, man, I see a bunch of people in here. Twilight, Monkey D. Jiraiya, New AZ Chief, Daimyo Dial, Christopher, Blue Knight, Anthony NC, Meryl Jones, Titan Black, The Dragon, Twilight, Roy Boy Stokes. Roy Stokes. I'm sorry.
The boy. He changed his name to Roy Boy.
Roy Boy Stokes. Okay.
Yeah, Roy Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a vote last 2 episodes, I think.
Okay, I like that.
I do too. It's a good one.
I see Train here. I see a bunch of people here. Also, shout out to y'all for sending us the Spotify Wrapped. A lot of people, we were in their top 1%, or their top 1% of viewership. Shout out to y'all, man. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for messing with us.
We typically shout out the YouTube community, but shout out to Spotify, shout out to Apple Podcast listeners, shout out to everybody. Larry mentioned we're multi-streaming right now to other.
Not right now.
Oh, we're not? Okay, never mind. No. But shout out to y'all. Let's get to super chats.
Yeah.
All right, first, we got a couple sitting. So 40, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but thank you, from Big Business Borsalino. It says Prime Bonnie will be at least Admiral level. As long as she keeps that imagination and adds some strong hockey. I mean, people have theorized that she could even be a conqueror. So I'm not mad at it. I hold the Admirals to a high level, but that her ability is technically broken if she can maintain the kid-like imagination as she gets older.
Vice Admiral.
Vice Admiral.
At best.
She already could pack some Vice Admirals, technically.
Vice Admirals. That's as far as she goes.
Okay. All right.
What about you, Law?
You adding hockey to this?
Yeah, this said Prime Bonnie, so when she's in her 40s, 39 or whatever.
That don't mean she a master of hockey.
Sure. I'm just saying.
The only reason I say that is because we clearly see in the show that some people favor their ability than hockey. So it doesn't necessarily just because you grow to that age doesn't make you a master of that. You just focus on your ability, and you didn't really focus on your hockey too much, and then now you kind of lacking, in that aspect, in the hockey aspect. And to really be up there, when we're seeing Admiral level 2, you gotta come correct with your hockey, especially Yonko level. It's a guarantee for Yonko.
1,000%.
So
I could see her just losing to Prime Smoker. Low key.
Is Smoker his prime now? Like, I'm trying to.
Nah, I wouldn't say it. Nah, I don't say
I'm the
it.
Smoker
Nah.
guy. The dude's been a disappointment, man. I can't. He just has.
He's just a slow grower, man.
We know what hockey is, bro.
Yeah.
You're inappropriate. Both of you. What's
Yeah,
going on?
what?
What's going on? Dirty 30 and now the grower.
Yeah, you heard Marv
name?
laughing too. Yeah, come on.
Marv,
man.
don't encourage them.
Come on.
Inappropriate.
All right, we moving on. We got another document join the ship in Katana's Thomas. Thank you. Welcome to enjoy all the emojis that come being a Nakama. Another 249 from Nicole L. Sup? When did Sanji
Sup.
become YC level 1, or has he? When he defeated Queen, in my opinion, that was when. Because if you're able to beat a YC 2, that means you're at least in the realm of YC 1s. So I'll say when he beat Queen.
I would say he's on the cusp of becoming first commander level. I think you have to beat a first commander in order to be first commander level, in my opinion, or be able to beat a first commander level. I don't feel like Sanji can beat a first commander level.
Okay.
He has to fight one first before I go, yeah, he got the belt.
Because to me, we're basing off, all right, the first commanders we see is Albert and Dogtooth. You know? I'm not 100% confident Sanji wins both those battles, especially how's he going to affect Albert. And then Dogtooth's a conqueror, you know what I'm saying? And if Sanji does have it, he hasn't awakened it yet. You know what I'm saying? Conqueror's Haki and Luffy's Haki was a big factor, and Future Sight was a big factor why Luffy even came close to beating Dogtooth there. Sanji's not quite there yet. I'll say he's still high, very high, second division commander level.
Do you think he beats Marco?
Do you know how I feel about
I'm
that?
asking you.
No.
I'm genuinely asking.
What do I mean
you.
by that? To me,
That's unfair.
Marco is not first division commander level. Strength-wise.
Okay.
Strength-wise, he's not there.
Even
He's
though
second.
even though I have the same opinions
third.
about Marco
Yeah.
with Lawrence,
Okay.
but Lawrence takes it to an extreme to a bit. I don't think he could beat Marco.
Literally, the definition of the title is derived from him, but we'll move on. We got another 14 Czar from Ratcha. It says, delete one arc that would ruin the One Piece. # barbell.
That would ruin the One Piece.
So if you remove this arc, you ruin One Piece.
Order 7.
Yeah, to me, it's between Water 7 and Marineford for
The
that.
real answer is Sabaody Archipelago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, bro.
Mm.
Luffy becomes another Gecko Moria.
Okay. We got another Nakama joined the ship in Benji 2 times, and then they upgraded from Nakama to Yonko. So our highest tier of membership. Enjoy all the emojis
Yeah,
that come with
thank
being
you.
a Yonko. Another 11 months at Warlord status from Wise Life Gaming. Almost a year with the GOATs. If you had to match up all 12 final One Piece players against each other, what are the matchups? # who pulling out, # Loki top 1, # Sebitax. Okay, so I'm assuming it's the 12 people from that double page panel.
Very complicated
I'm trying to remember who was all on there. I know what chapter number that was.
It's going to be Aokiji was on there. Dragon was on there. Kobe was on there. A hidden figure, probably Shamrocks, was on there. I believe Buggy was on there.
Yeah, it looks like a Kainu, Shanks, Dragon. We don't know who that is exactly. We assume it's Shamrock. Luffy, Blackbeard, Buggy, Sabo, Aokiji, Kobe, Garling, and Emu. So if we matching people up,
Let's just do 2 each at this point because it's too much.
Buggy and Kobe,
Buggy and Kobe?
1000%.
Okay.
Without hesitation. And Luffy and Blackbeard. You know how I feel.
Sabo and Akainu.
Okay. Oh God, no.
Blackbeard and Garling.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go Dragon and Akainu.
Okay.
And let's go Garling and Shanks.
Okay. I like that.
That's not bad.
That's a new one.
Those are pretty good.
That's a new one. All right. Let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, thank you.
Another 5 from Woven Water. Calling it now before the show even starts. Sebi gonna downplay his W. Hashtag what a humble guy. Hashtag I love you, Larry Berry. Hashtag what's up, Law. Hashtag Lionel probably isn't there.
What's up, man?
Oh, man.
Lionel will be here. He'll be here the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Another 250 from Nico. What did Usopp poison his mom to get a setbacks?
No.
No, he
terrible.
didn't. He didn't.
If you wanted to say he did it to join the White Beard Pirates, that's a different story.
What?
I'm joking, but yeah, maybe not.
I'm confused. Another 50 SEK from Mopping something. It says, here's the money I won gambling. Can never escape the Larry tax. Hashtag gamble fruit. Hey, man, keep the winnings coming, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Keep that streak going. Another 5 from Luis Lopez. If you could ask your favorite character anything, what would it be? Hashtag BBC. Hashtag Mexican tax.
You really let a daddy joke take you out, bro?
What?
I would ask Sanji to teach me how to cook. Legit. Like, some lessons. I'm trying to be on that level.
Mm-hmm. Law?
Okay.
One guy, like, he don't have a favorite character, and there's going to be a character that's impossible.
It's
to
Roger.
ask.
He said his favorite character is Roger like 20 million times.
It's not
Yeah.
actually Roger.
No, it is Roger.
What would you question Roger about?
Why'd you turn yourself in? Like, I know why, but that's not the way I would have did it.
How would you have done it?
Why'd you turn yourself in that way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
To
right.
the Marines.
That's a good one. All right, 3 more?
Yep. We got... sorry. We got another Nakama join the ship in Sunny D. Montez, and then another Nakama for 9 months from Daimyo Dial. Seb, we need to crash out for real. Hashtag we were both wrong. Yeah. I will get into it later, man. Thank you. Another 9 New Zealand from the Dragon. It says, we got a positive Larry reaction, an apology for the eat a take, and Larry accepting responsibility for the confusion last week. With multiple question marks. Hashtag W growth, hashtag W reader, hashtag topped. I didn't see your live reaction.
I like the W reader.
W
Because
reader.
I be reading pretty good.
Yeah, listen, when you don't be here and I have to read the chapter and it'd be tough.
It'd be a little hard.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm used to just reading in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, popcorn reading used to be a strong suit, not anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Good thing I had all those trophies. Huh?
For reading, right?
Guys made fun of me for like
Yo,
10
bro, it
years.
was so funny though, because you were so grown. It was like trophies from when you were like 7 years old. I bet you were like 18.
My mom wouldn't let me throw them away. She was proud of those trophies, bro. I still had trophies from karate when I was like
it's still so
6.
funny to me. Bro, you was like fully grown bringing girls to your room. 7-year-old reading.
It was something to talk about.
And one of his hearts.
Where'd I get that?
Bro, it never made sense to me, but shout out to Roy Boy Stokes, man, with the 5 gifted memberships. Still the Knockman fist up for our
thank
boy
you,
Roy.
You know, I got a trophy for reading this this Kobe Bryant book.
Yeah?
Yeah, it spoke about his life and stuff like that. It was amazing.
I'm trying to think what time frame this must have been, because he was definitely still playing.
I was
right?
12.
Yeah, I'm saying he was definitely still playing at the time. Mm.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, guys, ready for the chapter? Yeah. All right. Let me scroll up. All right. This week's chapter is titled "The Snows of Elbaf." The reader request comes with the caption, "A family of sheep knitting Hachan 6 gloves." We then see Hachi, the fishman, bundled up in a coat, clutching his frozen face with the newly knitted gloves he just received from a black sheep family. It looks like he's helping them shovel snow around their home. So, did you guys have any thoughts on this reader request? And Sebastian, let's start with you.
Nah, but it did remind me that I need to buy a pair of gloves. So shout out to Oda for that. It's cold out. Yeah, I'll bundle up.
Baby, it's cold outside. We probably shouldn't sing that song. It's inappropriate.
It's becoming appropriate.
I feel like they twisted that song like crazy.
Nah, he was a little pushy, bro. It was a little problematic.
No, but the stuff I heard about it, I was like, I don't think it was all that. But
Hey.
people's interpretation, I guess, you know.
She said no a few times, bro.
This is Lawrence, though, who believed Roger if he wanted it, he could have had it.
That's not what I. That's not what I was saying at all at that time.
he said,
That's not.
he said, Shacky? I mean, who's going to stop him?
I meant in the.
That was so funny.
It was so wild.
It
dude.
wasn't supposed to be taken
bro.
that way, though.
Such a wild
It meant
thought
more as in,
process.
we know that Roger, like, in a hand-to-hand combat, is stronger than Shaggy, but he allowed himself to get, like, just pretty much dropped, like, to lose, and, like, put him in a submissive position. I was like, he let that happen, because if he really wanted to stop her from doing it, he could have did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was supposed to be taken. Not,
You know what the best part of this is? Never mind.
Okay. All right. That's it? That's all you had to say?
Yeah, I ain't got nothing. I mean, having that many arms and shoveling would probably be beneficial. Maybe not. I don't know. I
was thinking
generally
this-
don't know.
Yeah.
Would it?
I was thinking the same thing. That's my only take on this was like, will it be efficient? Because he has mad shovels and you have 6 arms, but you kind of need. I guess you could do 1 arm each shovel, and you having the person with multiple arm shovel is just like, I don't know how to view that. You know, you just put him to work. Man, you got 6 arms. Just go ahead and do it yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That look right to you?
I don't know, but just bring back to when we had the show. We about to start doing that soon, shoveling snow.
Yo, bruh.
Yeah.
That
my
driveway
gosh.
used to be deep, bruh.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm always having the flashbacks, bro. That driveway used to suck.
So I kind of went off the deep end on this one.
Okay.
Really, from this?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is Oda calling out old racist cartoons?
Okay.
In the newest One Piece chapter, we see a black sheep family gifting a pair of black knitted gloves to the light-skinned fishman Hachi as he helps them shovel snow. Hachi happily accepts the gifts and wears the gloves. So, where does the potential commentary come in? Oda may be referencing early 1920s animation, where many cartoon characters imitated blackface minstrel performers. These performers typically wore white gloves to emphasize hand movements, and iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, Bosco, and Felix the Cat inherited these visual traits. This style was tied to the minstrel tradition, which often portrayed exaggerated and harmful stereotypes of black people. By contrast, Oda might be flipping that imagery on its head. Instead of a dark character with white gloves, we have a light-skinned character receiving black gloves from a black sheep family, given those gloves given as a genuine gesture of kindness while he helps them with labor in the snow. It could be Oda using historically racist imagery in a submersive way to convey something deeper, rather than promoting anything racist himself. So, what did y'all think about that?
I love it. And I love it even more so today, because I don't know if you saw it in the Discord chat.
No.
People were questioning whether you were black today.
Oh, were they? Why? I am very light skinned.
I was cracking up. I was like, yo, Larry's black. It was so funny. So for you to have this take about the minstrel shows, and I will say, as soon as you said it, I looked and I was like, oh man. Now I see it. But no, I mean, I don't think he was doing all that. But Oda's mind runs in a weird way. And I'm sure he has extensive knowledge. Well, maybe not extensive, but he has knowledge of minstrel shows, and he's basically made fishmen black people in the correlation between real life. So I can definitely see it. I don't think it's all that, but hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also too, the fact that he even, like, we think with Gear 5th Luffy is anime, Oda's introduction to the anime, to the cartoon world. But if you go to early on One Piece, some of his stuff that was shows is still very cartoonish. Like, I was watching when Usopp packed his book bag to go with the Straw Hats, and he tried leaving with that giant book bag outside his house. Usopp was bending the entire house from the doorway to leave. Yeah. That was very cartoonish, because I've seen that happen in cartoons. So shows that Oda like had in mind cartoons from the start of the show. But like I give with Sebastian and that, like I don't know if he's going, but his mind, the research that Oda did and how old he is, he probably knows of that back then. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So I just wanted to tickle your brains a little bit on that.
I like it.
Thought people would enjoy it, especially people of color, like myself and y'all.
They did place that you were Italian, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely
I
Italian.
was like,
Yeah, my mom's definitely a white woman, for sure, fully white, and my dad is black.
Yeah, Larry, one of them coal blacks, J. Cole Black.
Yeah, I'm one of the Drake, J. Cole. I hate saying Logic. But yeah, I'm definitely those types of black people. Yeah. But anyway, let's jump into 4 super chats. We'll do 4, and then we'll jump right into the beginning of the chapter. Okay. Guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video for us. It supports us heavily.
Yeah, we got another 2 from TJ. It says, Larry better not be wilding on my girl Ida this episode. We'll see. We got another 6 from Music Noah. Question for Sebi Webby. Which is worse, Garling did not scar Whitebeard, or Buggy becomes Pirate King before Luffy, just like the BS Naruto pulled? Hashtag top love, hashtag top 30. I don't get the BS Naruto pulled portion of that. I don't understand that. Maybe I'll leave that up.
Did someone become Hokage before Naruto became Hokage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that wasn't outside. That was Kakashi.
It was Kakashi, and then Shikamaru became Hokage after he got captured.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything wrong.
I gotta think about it again. I don't know what he's exactly saying.
And in regards to the question in general, yeah, Buggy becoming the Pirate King before Luffy would be much worse than Garling not scarring Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Like even if I believe it, even if I wanted it to happen, that's headcanon and agenda versus just ruining the series. So yeah, nah. Definitely.
I think I disagree.
You can elaborate, but I don't get how you would.
Well, I just think that Luffy is going to have a higher degree of responsibility than just being the Pirate King. I think Buggy could be like the intermittent Pirate King until Luffy takes out the Emu and the world government, and then he becomes officially Pirate King, like the true Pirate King. Because at the end of the day, we got to stop at Laugh Tale, get whatever story, but Rocks kind of showed you don't really need the One Piece right away. So, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I'm trying to think because I don't know how he would do it. I'm trying to play on, remember when they went to Logtown? Mm-hmm. And Buggy followed Luffy's crew there, and then took advantage of the situation to try to execute Luffy, and failed it. I don't think maybe possibly that situation happens when Luffy going to Laugh Tale. Buggy's group follows Luffy, and then tries to take advantage of the situation to become Pirate King. But at this point, I think Luffy's too strong to get underhanded by Buggy. You know, for him to, I don't know how Buggy would pull it off becoming Pirate King before.
All right, so let me bring this up. He became a Yonko before Luffy did, right?
Did he?
Did he not?
No.
I think it was around the same time.
The same exact time.
Yeah. Because
maybe, but the new Yonko were announced to us.
Yeah.
And it was Buggy, Luffy, Shanks, and Blackbeard.
Yeah.
We don't know if, you can even argue that Luffy got it before that because they were calling him the Fifth Emperor. You know what I'm saying? When Buggy was still a warlord. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I just think it's possible.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just wouldn't like it. I
feel like
it at all.
I feel like Buggy has so much narrative behind him that I feel like that's more likely than Garling scarring Whitebeard now.
That's a fair view.
Yeah,
I would say that's a fair view.
But also too, one thing I wouldn't like why, because Buggy kind of mentioned even with his relationship with Shanks. All right, they both served on the Pirate King's crew, but then Buggy also alludes to that Shanks was the next golden child. Even Gabon mentions you're the child of destiny to Shanks, right? And then Buggy realizing how great Shanks was, that he's most likely the one that's gonna fulfill the promise and be the ones to take Gold Roger's throne after him being Pirate King. That Buggy kind of gave up being Pirate King. He's like, I'm not going to even focus on that because Shanks got that in the bag, right? And then he's just focusing on Captain John's treasure, right? But it's only so recently he's like, you know what? Why not go for it in a situation with Mihawk and Crocodile? And then he becomes Pirate King after like this, where Luffy's from the beginning of it. Is that satisfying?
It's what Buggy's done. I don't think we have a right to question Buggy's greatness, right? Like
his upscaling greatness.
Yeah, like he's just.
What was it called? What would you call it for Usopp does? Because him and Usopp do the same thing. They
failing upwards.
Failing upwards.
Yeah.
Failing upwards scale.
Yeah. So let's do one more super chat and let's go into the chapter. I don't want to waste too much time.
Yeah, we got another 1 month at Nakama status from Knock Handle. It says, Seb being right did something to my soul.
Y'all gotta just pop it out. Just pop it out, bro. But anyway, guys, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video. We're gonna jump right back into the chapter right now. And if you sent a super chat, please do not worry. We're gonna read those, okay? So, we open up the chapter 15 years ago with scenes from around the world. People are reacting positively to the news that the naval giants from Elbaf will be playing crucial roles in maintaining global justice. Many express excitement about meeting a giant one day. Others are craving Elbaf's famous seafood, and even their cedar is praised, though people complain it's too difficult to ship. From there, we shift to Elbaf itself, where Harald is giving a speech to his people. He tells them their long-held dream of joining the world government is finally within reach. Harald believes they should build a cruise ship so they could freely travel to other nations. He says that to the rest of the world, they're seen as a curious minority, but every country has something worth respecting. By embracing other cultures, they'll gain more friends and wisdom. Their future is bright. A giant in the crowd brings up that their warrior culture is fading. Harald looks out over his people and quietly promises to himself and to Ida that he'll see this dream through to the end. We then move to Walrus School, where the children are playing. Harald and Saul sit together, and Harald thanks Saul for establishing the school. Saul notes that seeing the kids play is much healthier than teaching them to swing swords. He then asks Harald if he's afraid of losing Elbaf's might. Harald replies that their national strength can't rely on brute force anymore. He explains that Ida taught him everything he knows. Meeting her made her his greatest treasure. We see a grave covered in flowers bearing Ida's name. Then we transition into a flashback. Inside a small shack, Ida lies sick in bed while Harald sits beside her. She tells him he's changed. When he first brought her to Elbaf, she was terrified by all the civil strife. But now, he's transformed the country piece by piece. Children studying, laughter filling the streets, Elbaf becoming a completely different place. Harald excitedly says that old practices and harmful customs need to be left behind as they let go of their violent past. But Ida questions him. She says she likes their warrior pride and wants him to treasure their culture. Harald, shocked, asks why, especially when they can't even be married. He's never gotten over that pain. Ida laughs softly, calling him sweet, and reminds him they can't forget about Loki. Harald responds that Loki will simply be Harudin's little brother. Ida teases that Loki's always been like that anyway, and hearing Harald say that will keep her fed for months. But she also reminds him he's the king of everyone, not just her. Harald stands up, energized again. He says they'll soon be connected to the rest of the world and their horizons will grow millions of times larger. And after that, they'll travel the world together. Ida loves the idea and reaches out her hand. Harald holds her fingertips until her hand slips from his, lifeless. Harald steps outside, face covered by hand, as Haruden rushes in with others. Ida has passed away, still smiling. Harald keeps his face covered. Loki sits in his prison cell, adjusting his hat, and Ida's story comes to an end. With all of that said, what did you guys think? Lawrence, let's start with you.
I actually don't really have much for this chapter. For this part. Just going to the beginning. we're seeing how much the trade is actually affecting from the stuff they take from Elbaf is affecting the world, which is pretty cool. Now, this to me opened up more to how Frankie was so easy to get the Atom Wood from that, because now they're interested into the trade and the merchant business and stuff like that.
Well, it was on a black market.
It was.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
on a black market.
Where Frankie got it?
I believe so. Didn't he say something about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess this guy, he is a pirate, so he probably is selling it on the black market, right? So it's not that easily to get, which makes sense because I guess getting to Elbaf and then chopping down that takes a lot, right? And it just shows how much Harald is focused on. I understand he changed his kingdom, I guess, in his eyes for the better, right? But he's so focused on other nations. To me, it's like, not that you neglected your kingdom, but at the very least, you no matter what, you kind of neglected your family, you know? So you focus on this one, trying to further the great of Elbaf, right? Where, like, yes, some things needed to change, because even this guy said, I guess the warrior business is done yet. We're going to see for reasons on, but also because Ida even pointed out why this, in a way, and even Saul kind of points it out. This is like, do you understand what you're doing here, right? Yes. That's for later on. Yes, you want to change the violent ways of giants. That's fine because they were like, even Saul said it. The warriors of Elbaf, they're savages, right? Because all they knew was just fighting and war that way, you know? But we all know that it could be used for protection, as in to defend yourself or from whatever, right? If you want to change the violent ways, especially make peace with other countries, that's fine. Teach that. But don't lose, like Ida says, that warrior spirit in a way, because we're going to see later on the way he went about it, what it resulted to, right? But it's especially if everyone, like I said, if everyone wants this way, you got to have the freedom to choose for themselves. But it seems like he's more like just obliterating it entirely. You know, we're not even going to teach it at all. Like, you're completely throwing out your culture. And this goes into, like, what Sebastian said. And I didn't think about it until Sebastian really said it, right? Because he said he blamed, that culture is the one that stopped us from being married. Them being warriors does not stop you from being married. You know, that was your culture because that was the way you guys were warriors. But the culture, that's what the elders are saying, but you're the king, right? Sebastian brought up, you fought this hard to make these changes and sacrifice yourself and even willing to become a slave, but you're not really willing to step up to the elders when you're the king of the thing to change that marriage alliance, but you're changing the entirety of the culture. The culture for fighting does not stop you from marrying Ida, you know? So they're not one and the same. Mm-hmm. You're viewing it the same, but it's not one and the same, you know? But it is what it is for that situation, and because to me, what Ida was saying is because what she did for the Elbaf was good, like teaching Harald everything he knows for that aspect. But going into, she liked that, showing that Harald, there's a balance to this that you completely just ignored and threw out the window, right? And it lets you, to me, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it later on of how I view it, but there's a balance which you could have protected your country from for future dangers. And it's just sad seeing Ida pass away from this because we know how and why it happened this way for something she didn't even want. Like, she was fine with the way it was, but it just shows Harald's first wife's family or island or whatever you want to call it in Elbaf is just they're all the same in that aspect. They're all wicked, and that they only think about themselves. So I don't know what business they have and how it affects the other people in Elbaf, but it's just a shame that it ended in this way. You know, and the fact that I don't know, Loki seems to keep stuff to himself. I don't think they all know this. I think Loki's the only one that knows what happened to Ida. And I don't think Harald or Hadruna knows that this people are the one, like, what's her name? The wife? Estrid? Estrid's family is the one that poisoned her, you know? Because that could create a conflict. I don't know why Loki kept it secret, but to me, it should be mentioned. It should be mentioned to Harald and Hadruna especially. But
so I don't want to cut you off, but I also thought that, but a part of me thought that Loki may have told them the truth and they just didn't believe him. Because Loki's supposed to emulate Usopp in some way, and the trickster, the liar, Loki from Norse mythology. So I'm wondering if, like, he might have even said it, and they just didn't believe him because of the history of him being a brute.
I
and
can
everything.
see that.
But which would just be more tragic. I think if that was the case, we probably would have gotten that.
Yeah.
To elevate Loki's character a little bit more, but it's also very possible he just went the Odin route and just didn't tell anybody. So
yeah, maybe because I'm thinking with that information, do you think that would have opened up where he would be able to marry Ida? If you found out that this,
it's a little late now.
I know that, but I'm saying it's just like knowing the truth behind them, you know?
Yeah.
But like, because also too, if they're all, and also too, I don't know how Errol did it. He's saying that everything that he knows was taught by Ida, and if the elders agree with what Harold's doing with the nation, who's the one that gave him this information? His wife. So that's a strong support of what making Elbaf better, but you don't want to have them to marry. You're able to accept her beliefs, but not her marrying the king. He's changing the entire country, you know. So it's just like it's just.
I have something for this. I was gonna save it for later.
No, I'm pretty much done.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you want.
It's something that somebody pinged me on the Discord for, and it reminded me of the politics that we see in our current state of affairs. People of an older generation can get hung up on things that don't typically affect the majority of the population, and it can affect votes. It can affect elections. It can affect the laws and things and rules that are established or put in place. Like Lawrence mentioned, I kind of highlighted it last week. Harold marrying Ida doesn't really change anything for anybody in Elbaf at all, other than the people who are stuck in their ways and their bigoted thought process about the ability to marry and dilute the bloodline. I will give them some grace here, some, in the notion that they might believe what they believe or think the way they believe because of the mural. On that mural, it does seem that an ancient giant is assisting Nika taking down whatever is going on there. Okay. So if in their mind, the king, that person is supposed to be the king of Elbaf, they need to be of ancient giant blood. But for the modern day-to-day, it's not going to impact anybody in any way, whether Harold marries Ida or Harold or he marries Estrid. So it's kind of a weird balance. And like Lawrence is saying, they don't seem to care that he's changing Elbaf's culture and the structure that it's in, but they have a sticking point of that. So I was like trying to correlate it to what we see in modern politics, and I think we do see that in real life too, whether it's logical or illogical to you. You know what I mean? So I think it's good on Oda to kind of highlight that, even if he wasn't intentional, even if it was, I don't know. But in general, that art imitates life, and that thought process, the willingness to accept changes here but not here, the steadfastness that they won't allow these changes, I do think we see that in modern politics. All right, to get into the actual, or at least my thought process on the other stuff that happened, I liked seeing the impact that Harold is seemingly making on the world with the Giants. So I know we've all attacked Harold for his methodology and how he's going about doing this, but for years the Giants have been looked at as a fearful nation and terrorizing humans and plundering and pillaging and all the stuff. And now, because of the Giants that are offshoots of Harold's efforts, even just in the Marines, they're starting to get a different reputation across the world. So I think that's good. I know, like, again, we don't agree with how he's gone about this and the willingness that he's gone to sacrifice to do this, but it is good to see that the Giants are getting a different perception across the nation, or reputation across the nation. I did notice that guy with the Umit company is the same guy from the Tea Party with Big Mom. He's like this shipping, what do you call it? I think he's something master of ships or whatever. I don't remember. Deep Sea Currents Umit. Yeah, he's like Emperors of the Underworld is what he is. So he's basically delivering the labor of, or the lumber of Elbaf's wood and stuff, like across the country, across the world, and it's pretty dope. Like, we see that deep, that's probably Atom wood that he has there, and like that ended up. I mean, Roger's already been a pirate, but like the Sunny gets Atom wood, so it's like Larry brought it up, or you brought it up. The underground world is getting this Elbaf resources, and it's going to be used in the future. So that's pretty cool. I like Harold having these like nationwide meetings just out in the open like this. I think it's cool. He just gets a horn and he's like, "Hey y'all, I'm back. And these are the updates that I have to give y'all." It's like the third or fourth time we've seen him do that. I think it's just pretty cool that he does that. Like, as much as we kill Harold, like, I think it's funny. Like, everybody gather around. I have important news to share.
Real quick, it's funny because this is actually kind of the first kingdom we've seen do this.
Right.
Where the king is so absolute. Because usually, for example, even other kingdoms, we haven't seen one that's a strong king in that aspect. Usually it's like, all right, he's relying on his lower half. Elbaf's like, literally, I'm not saying all of them can approach Harald and do nothing, but he's that much bigger and stronger than them that they literally can't do anything about it. But he's also their good king, as in he represents them. But yeah, it's just an absolute king for them.
And like Lawrence said, what we're seeing from Harald is an overcorrection to the highest degree.
Yeah.
Yes, you can stop pillaging and reaving and destroying nations, but you don't have to stop being strong. You don't have to stop being able to fight. You don't have to fight every day. You don't have to go to war with everyone, but you can still train. You can still position yourself to defend Elbaf or attack negatives that you see in the world. Mm-hmm. So it's an overcorrection. It's tough, and the way he phrases it kind of bothered me in this chapter specifically because I owe it all to Ida taught me everything. And even in this chapter, Larry, when he was reading, Ida's like, nah, I ain't said to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about, bro? I said you don't have to be murking people. Like, you were a douche. You were just randomly attacking nations for no reason.
He was a big bully.
Yeah.
He just said stop bullying people.
Stop bullying people. I didn't say become a complete pacifist. I didn't say all that. But I will say I really like the imagery of the flashback that we got with Harald in his, like, kind of set, conviction, like, face juxtaposed to Ida's grave. I love that she has the flowers there. I like that in this flashback we get Ida passing and the way that we got it, because there's been some arguments about their relationship and things and whether they should have married, etc. Lawrence brought that up, but in general, there was genuine love between these two people in this story, and we saw that. We felt that. And him having this conversation with her when they both know, like, this is probably the last time they're going to be able to meet at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, Harald, he's going to be off island soon, most likely. Mm-hmm. And she probably doesn't have much time left. I'm wondering if Loki may have not told the world. Does he ever tell Harald? Mm-hmm. Because you brought up you weren't there for your people, you weren't there for your family. Does he take that responsibility, that guilt? Because we talked about the marriage and the family and all the things. You being off island allowed for that kind of stuff to go down. So Loki could even be protecting Harald from that truth. And I probably think he is. Harald seems like too, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say naive, but it's probably naive in these moments for him to have that darker toll weighing on him. But I did think it was beautiful. I did think that moment that they shared together with them talking about traveling the world together reminded me of Bonnie and Kuma. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's a promise that's clearly going to be unfulfilled between these two people, but they're still speaking as if, oh, I can't wait. That sounds fantastic. Harold's elated to be in a room with Ida again. And Larry, I gotta say, you said a small shack. This is Elbaf, bro. That's Harald. This is not a small shack, bro.
It looks small.
But I really did like his genuine reaction to stuff that she was saying in the moment, because I don't know when the last time he saw her was. And Ida, she knows she's passing, and Harald makes the mention that, hey, these laws, this culture that you're defending right now are the reason we can't get married. We couldn't be together. And her first reaction was, but what about Loki? Because if we were together, Loki wouldn't be here. That's how quality a woman that Ida is. I'm in the face of death. Everything I ever wanted was a life with this man. And even knowing that, him saying, hey, this one thing was a barrier between us, and her thought process is, but what about my son? What about the son that I didn't get to, I didn't birth this child, but that's my son. She think about Loki more than Harald is. And that's not her child. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I thought this was a fantastic ending for, I do think, a great character, and underappreciated, I think. I'm not throwing shade at you, Larry, but underappreciated in One Piece, because every time we see her on panel, we get jokes about how she looks and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, Ida, one of the most beautiful characters in the series. to me, just because her temperament, how she acts, how she reacts to things, and what she was willing to stand 10 toes for. So I thought it was beautifully done by Oda. The flashback even to them, like when they first met, Harold's excitement to interact with her, Ida's excitement to see him, and the somberness by which it went down, and then like paneling to the hand dropping and then no words. Touche, bro. I thought it was great. I really did.
I want to add to it real quick, because even if you want to go by what you said and then maybe think about it now, remember Loki's disposition when he was younger. He was abandoned by his mother to the point where like he couldn't even accept the love from his father anymore. Ida changed that. He went from like, all right, forget the world, forget everybody else. My mother don't love me. My father's not here. He don't care. To like the only mother I ever knew.
Exactly.
Is Ida. Even though he treated her harshly. He didn't do anything bad to her, but he would speak, in a harsh way towards her all the time. Yet she's the one that softened his heart to open it up to receive love again. So.
Yeah, man. And then Harden running in with the peoples, them all not being able to deal with it, Harold walking away crying, Loki in the jail cell because he crashed out over what happened to Ida, his adoptive mother, probably crying too because he's covering his face even though ain't nobody there watching you. Odds are anyway, maybe there's somebody there. But either way, it shows the impact that this woman had on the past, present, and future of Elba in whatever way it ends up being. So I gotta say touche to Oda. I when I read this, I felt so like Lawrence. I don't know if it reminded me of Grandma. Yeah. And Dad would be hard in this moment, but I don't know. I thought back to Grandma. I did, and I ain't like cry or nothing, but I really was like, it's rare that I get those moments. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right. There were a couple fascinating points in this chapter, and one that really stood out to me was how quickly the Giants in the naval gained the world's trust through their accomplishments. I mentioned before that I thought it would take hundreds of years for the world to adjust to the idea of giants as non-violent, and clearly I was wrong. It was funny too because I remember Sebastian was like, how long do you think it would take? And I was like, it's probably going to take like hundreds of years.
I mean, you were being more realistic than this is. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years. But I think we also, not to cut you off, but like even the other chapter, I was like, yo, people don't know about giants enough. So like Oda opened the window to allow for this kind of BS to happen, but like because people just didn't know. But sure.
Yeah, because like I still want to meet one.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, man, it's always harder to build something than to destroy it. But I didn't expect the world's perception of the giants to shift so drastically this fast. That got me thinking about both the positive and the negative sides of this development. On the positive side, the giants are reshaping how the world sees them, improving their value on the global stage. But on the negative side, it feels like they're being taken advantage of, as they are. It made me wonder, could a real-world nation recruit the people of a completely foreign country into its military? In the case of the United States, it's funny because you went directly to real world. The answer is basically no. The U.S. military isn't an alliance-based force like NATO. You could become a permanent resident and then enlist, but no foreign country has special privileges to send its citizens straight into the U.S. military. There was once a program that allowed certain non-citizens already living in the U.S. with specialized skills to enlist, but that ended in like 2016. Then I thought about like Puerto Rico, for instance. I was like, it's not a U.S. state, but Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. They have their own local government and constitution, but lack full voting representation of Congress. They can vote in presidential primaries, but not the general election unless they live in a state, yet they can join the U.S. military. So when we bring this back to Elbaf, right, the comparison becomes really interesting. The Giants aren't allies. They aren't citizens of the world government, and they aren't officially a part of the world government yet. At best, they're like individuals on temporary visas hoping to someday become permanent residents. And yet, the world government is already recruiting their warriors and benefiting from their strength without offering them any rights, protection, or political inclusion in return. So I just found that parallel really interesting to talk about. The other major point that stood out to me was what Harald said to his people. He says, I think we should build a cruise ship so we could travel freely to our fellow nations. I genuinely thought this might be one of the most important lines in One Piece history. I want y'all to hear why. It sparked a theory in my mind. What if Harald saying this echoes something a previous king of Elbaf, 800 to 900 years ago, during Joy Boy's era, once said as well? Imagine that the ancient king of Elbaf was an ally of Joy Boy. Joy Boy, just like Rocks later on, could have befriended the Elbaf king and shared stories of his adventures after becoming the first pirate of the seas. Inspired by this, the ancient king might have told his people that he wanted the giants to travel the world too, following Joy Boy, the Nika figure they worshipped as a god. He could have ordered a specific clan of giants to build a capable ship of reaching Water 7. These giants then become the earliest version of the Galley La. Those giants build two ships, the Noah, the great cruise ship the ancient king envisioned for global travel, to the ancient weapon Pluton, created because Joy Boy dreamed of a freer world. Without the red line, people could move freely and use this cruise ship to reach any nation. The ancient Elbaf king agreed to help make this vision real. Joy Boy then made a promise to the king of Fishman Island. The Noah would also help fishmen travel the world. Fishman Island, at the center of the world, would be the starting point of the global cruise route. The Poseidon of that era, who controlled the Sea Kings, would guide and pull the Noah across the seas. When speed was needed, the ship could dip in and out of the calm belt like a rapid current or a white water, which we've seen in One Piece. In other words, Elbaf and Fishman Island were working together to create a world where every culture and tradition could be shared across the seas using the ancient weapons and the global cruise system. But everything collapsed. A group of kings, bigoted, fearful, or threatened by the idea of cultural unity, formed the alliance that would become the world government. They didn't want nations mixing or gaining equal access to the world. They saw Joy Boy's dream as a threat to their power and crushed the project before it could begin. Pluton was sealed away in Wano. The Noah was hidden in Fishman Island, where it was first dropped off after the Galley La giants created it to start the cruise ship at that starting point. Joy Boy apologized in writing for failing the Fishman people. Poseidon of that era passed away after creating the calm belt, the white water system. The ancient Elbaf king passed away as well. Nefertari Lily passed away and left the truth behind on poneglyphs. Joy Boy himself passed away, leaving a final memento within Emmett for the future. That's where my mind went with Harald's line. I know I won't land 100% on this theory, but right now it feels like a surprisingly plausible thread that ties a lot together for me.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mind, it's minor pushback, but my mind, I do believe that the ancient giants and the Galley La probably did create the Noah. My reasoning might be a little different though. Mm-hmm. So with the Noah being what it is, I've always assumed that the reference would be to prevent the world, like to save people from the flooding of the world. And the world did flood. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, that was my assumption that it did, like that's what it was for. Mm-hmm. But I did like the not, they say party boat. Party boat is so funny. But I do like the correlation between like Harald being somebody that like is emulating an ancient giant king that had similar thought processes, and Imu's reaction to that. You know what I'm saying? Or I guess maybe it doesn't have to be Imu, but I assume it's Imu. You know, reaction to that. So I really like it. I'd have to go into, because I've always thought the Noah would in some way correlate to Big Sake too. Mm. So like I'd have to go into the lyrics there, and see if there's any other ties there. But I don't know. I like it. I know you said you like it, Lawrence.
It's interesting. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. All right, so I'll continue. Yeah, Lawrence sometimes leaves me on the edge. I'll be thinking he got more to say and he just doesn't say anything.
How long that took you to cook up, bro? That was like a lot of ties, like threads to be tied in.
Nah, it took me like 30.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so my thoughts on Ida's passing are bittersweet. Leading up to her death, I found myself frustrated with her seeming lack of involvement in Harald's, decisions. I've been pointed out for this. Harald was left largely unchecked, surrounded by yes men who reinforced his status as king. Ida was the one who originally sparked his ideas of cultural discovery and forward thinking, yet it felt like she left him to navigate the responsibilities alone. So I got at her for that. Yes, Harald is his own man, I get it, but there's no doubt that Ida has always been the woman of his life. Her advice carries weight. Even if he doesn't always listen, a woman's guidance can serve as a man's moral compass. And she had every right to speak, yo. She wasn't his wife, but Harald believed she should have been. If anyone could influence him, it would have been Ida, the lifelong treasure of his heart, as he stated. And yet, it seemed like she never spoke up. Maybe she never had the chance because Harald was always away, or maybe she couldn't bring herself to confront him. Or perhaps she didn't even realize what needed to be said, so I have to grant her that. But in the end, she did. In her final moments, Ida told Harald that it's fine to appreciate other cultures, but not at the expense of your own. That struck me. The first real guidance she gave him on this issue came at the very end of her life. I couldn't help but feel frustrated, yo. This was something she could have said many times before, preventing mistakes that now seemed inevitable. I hate seeing people make avoidable mistakes, especially when they've already lost so much or are trying to do the right thing. Witnessing a chance for meaningful change that never comes to fruition is painful. And I understand Ida's position. Some traditions are deeply ingrained. But at the same time, certain cultural practices can be toxic or destructive. Look at the Shandorians, for example. When Kalgara sacrificed his daughter Moose to their false god Kashigami, Nolan intervened and stopped it. Initially, they hated him. But once they understood why he did it, they recognized the harm of their customs and never repeated it. Harald could have taken a similar path. I would have loved that. Violence begets violence, but controlled violence, strength used wisely, can maintain safety and preserve culture. A king should have the freedom to act according to what's right, even if it goes against tradition, such as marrying outside of his people. Harald could have preserved his people's strength while correcting destructive customs, such as what Lawrence stated earlier. So seeing Ida pass away was truly bittersweet. I criticize her absence when she first appeared, and to now witness her final moments feels like a loss, a bad W. I wish she had confronted Harald the same way Saul did. So some of my frustrations and lessons could have been shared while there was still time. And that's how I felt about it. So she's not a bad mom.
There you go.
All right.
That's what the people wanted to hear.
I just wish, she had a chance earlier.
She didn't have too many chances. Dude kept leaving.
Yeah.
I guess she could have got Denden Mushi or something.
Yeah. All right, so let's read 5 super chats and then we'll jump right back into the chapter.
Okay. We got another 5 from Trey Bus. It says, love the pod, still number 1 in Clash, excited for this episode. Hashtag MudButtSeb, hashtag W Larry. All right. Another 2 from Psycho Entertainment. It says, who's the most diabolical anime villain?
Diabolical?
Anime villain?
Mm-hmm. See, my mind just went to Reverse Flash, but it's not. He not anime villain.
No, they got anime movies.
Then the Reverse Flash. It was me, Barry.
I shaked you.
That wasn't.
It might have well been real.
Okay, that wasn't.
Reverse Flash
think
be
about
on
it. I was
demon
like,
time, bro. Who y'all thinking, bro?
It's a couple people. I think Griffith, at the end of the day, definitely top. Dio.
Okay.
Definitely up there. Frieza, of course.
Yeah.
Knives, Trigun,
Okay.
a little messed up.
He was twisted.
A lot messed up.
He was twisted, man.
There's many.
You named some of the really good ones.
Yeah.
I won't step on that. I was gonna. He said Dio.
I said Dio.
He said Dio.
Yeah,
he said
Dio. Dio's messed up for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple out there, bro.
I gotta say Doflamingo.
Dolphy.
Yeah, Doflamingo's up there, bro.
He's up there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
100%. I was thinking Delphi.
That's my guy, but.
I mean, at this point, it gotta be Emu too.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more from him, but yeah.
He's already.
How much more do you want?
Like, especially.
It's a little bit more. It's a little, we can get more evil than that, no?
Yeah.
No? We can't we?
I believe he is. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Like, for example, like we saying Doflamingo for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's the worst Doflamingo.
I think Orochimaru pre-time skip.
Mm.
That was crazy. Like, if you look at the manga and what Orochimaru was doing, there was like body parts in baskets while he was just experimenting in the dark with no lights.
Yeah, bro.
He's like, oops, I made a mistake.
Hey, man.
That was bad, bro.
There's some bad people out there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
it was
bro.
terrible.
Mm.
That was like Jeffrey Dahmer, just like chilling. And then they let him back in the village.
It's just crazy to me. After all of that, you tell me this dude showed up this dude's wedding.
He in the wedding.
Like,
He a groomsman, bro.
No, he wasn't a groomsman. He did send them like a wedding video.
Remember I used to be wilding out? It's not me anymore, guys.
That was crazy. All right.
Oh, man. Let us know who y'all think are the most diabolical anime villains in the chat. We got another 5 from Nick Reed. Smoking plus topped gotta head out. Okay, smoking plus topped, but gotta head out. Hashtag Mr. Nasty Time. Hashtag Top Love with the heart emoji. Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Okay.
Let's do 2 more.
Another 13 months at Nakama status from Teabag. It says, will we get Marv top 30 with anime only characters? If Marv wants to put in the work, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Another 5 from Luffy, the King of the Pirates. Smash that like button, y'all, and thank you guys for another great pod. Thank you. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. We're currently at like 766 viewers, but only 240 likes. Hit that like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm.
All right. Let's jump back into the chapter. So, for the next part of the chapter, we jump back 14 years ago to Sacred Mary Joa. A panicked voice questions that Shanks has gone missing. Another voice responds, explaining that Shanks was on track to become a full-fledged Holy Knight once he completed his mission. But with him gone, this becomes a golden opportunity for his designated backup. Will you take it? We then see the ones speaking are Harald and the Gorosei. Harald answers with excitement, "Of course I will." He wants to join the Knights of God. To him, this is the moment Elbaf finally earns the right to join the world government. The Gorosei lead Harald to the empty throne and congratulate him. The Great One trusts him now, they say. And from this day forward, he will be known as the man who changed Elbaf's history forever. Harald then adds that once Elbaf becomes a member nation, he's considering handing the kingdom over to a new king. That's when Emu speaks, interrupting him. That is for Mu to decide. Harald freezes, shocked by the revelation that someone is sitting atop the empty throne. He says, "Why is anyone there?" Emu calls him forward, saying they've been watching Harald closely. Suddenly, a loud, otherworldly scream erupts, so powerful that the castle itself seems to expand from the force of it. Harald collapses to one knee, clutching the arm branded with the mark of the Holy Knights. The mark begins to grow and flare with power. The Gorosei watch as something ripples violently through Harald. It's almost terrifying. Marcus Mars announces that Harald is now immortal. Warkery comments that this power is enough to chill the spine. Ethan Barron adds that Harald is now more than a monster. He is a weapon. Emu then declares, "At long last, thou art an undying knight in service to Mu." Harald, shaken, asks with what undying even means as he stands back up. None of it feels real. Emu continues, "Thou wilt create an abyss on Elbaf. That shall be thy bond to us. And when thou hast completed thy final duty, thy wish shall be granted. Elbaf will be welcomed among the member nations of the world government." We then cut to Harald's return home. His warriors proudly welcome him as he steps once more onto the shores of Elbaf. He raises his voice and roars, "Let's have a toast." And that ends this section of the chapter. What did you guys think of this part? Sebastian, let's start with you this time.
All right. It's funny because obviously we had the dispute last week about what powers Harald gained with the original mark that he got, and Larry ended up calling me yesterday before you read the chapter to say, I don't even remember what you said. I was just trying so hard not to laugh or troll you in the moment because I knew you hadn't read the chapter yet. But dude, when I tell you, so many people dig me and ping me on a Discord the second the chapter dropped. Like, "Oh, did you read the chapter? Did you read the chapter? Did you read the chapter?" And it's just like, yo, for it to be so quick last week, I thought that was funny. I'm not gonna gloat too much. I'm not that petty. But me and Larry talked about it. It's all right, y'all. In general, I was curious to see. Well, not curious per se, but like Shanks leaving already. Apparently, he left to go to Elbaf because this is around that same time that he's already there. Like once the attack happens, he's there with Kaban. So I had theorized a little bit. I don't think I ever mentioned on the pod that Shanks was going to pop up on Elbaf with like not the other Holy Knights, but it would be a situation where they're like, "Yo, Shanks, what are you doing here? You weren't supposed to be on this mission," kind of a thing. And I guess we could still get that, but maybe not. He's already kind of out of the loop, so we'll see. Them immediately going to Harald though, like as the backup. Like, do y'all need this knight right now? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What was the mission? Mm-hmm. Not Shanks' mission. What was the original mission? Was Shanks' mission to go to Elbaf and put the mark there? Like, what was the mission? Because this is what, well, we'll get to that later, but like that's what they end up asking Harald to do. So I was curious what the mission itself was. I guess we'll see. And I guess maybe if they have the intel that he was with Kaban, like it would be an easy way to do that, but that's a whole other thing. Harald, when he said what he said about abdicating the throne, I thought about which son he was referring to. Would it be for Loki or would it be for Harald? Because what he says here, someone younger, pure, does he look at Loki as pure? Does he look at Harald as pure? Is he talking about having another child? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be kind of wild, but probably not. Kind of crazy.
Kind of.
But I thought I was interested in that. Not too crazy, but it's like those would be the two people that would be given the throne unless he wants to open it up to a democracy. So I was curious about that. His shock at seeing Emu on the throne is kind of funny because like he's so tall, he's like walking. Emu seemingly has just been sitting there the whole time. He's just like walking up and eventually notices him. Him getting the mark itself, I was going to ask y'all, so do y'all think he's in the deep sea current, like covenant now? Or is he in the abyssal covenant now?
That's answered in the next part.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. You didn't read it?
Am I tripping?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, yeah, depths. All right, depths. All right, cool. All right, so, my fault. All right, so he's clearly been given the immortality now that he's in the depths covenant. And low-key, he's not as shocked as I thought he would be. So he was a little right there too, Larry. Like, I was like, yo, he should be shocked. I just became immortal. He's shocked.
No, he has a shock.
He not as shocked as I was talking. Like, yo, he should be wilding out. Like, yo, you talking I can be immortal now?
I mean, he is kind of wilding out though.
I don't know, but
because he's literally like, yo, this is running through my veins.
yeah, but that's more the feeling of it than it is the fact that I'm immortal.
But even then, he's like, yo, it's almost terrifying.
I do like that they had each of the Gorosei speak their piece on it, at least some of them, because they've experienced this. Like, they've gotten these marks, they've gotten these tattoos, seemingly, and it chills the spine. Like, you're more than a monster, you're a weapon now. Like, speaking to it, it's like, yo, they're speaking from their own experience. I thought that was pretty cool.
This is what happened with Will in Stranger Things with Vecna.
I ain't caught up, but it's cool. I'm not caught up at all.
My bad.
Nah, you good. I'm a clean 3 seasons back. Like, I'm bad.
Damn.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah, there's nobody named Vecna.
yeah. I was like, I don't even know who you talking about. I barely remember who Will is, bro.
Yeah.
He's the weak one.
That's
He
messed
not
up.
weak no more?
You witnessed him 3 seasons ago, and he's a kid.
He was weak.
Give him a break.
That was how I would define him or describe him back then.
You could have said bowl cut.
Bowl cut, yeah.
Yeah,
that too.
it's super
That too.
easy to say bowl cut.
That too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. He's the one in the meme, right? That be in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Am I tripping? That's it.
That's it, but I don't know the meme. I know that what he did, and
Oh, you caught up in Strange Things.
I think there's like a new season that came out.
Yeah.
I didn't see that
It
one,
don't matter.
but I caught up to that point.
Shout out to Vecna, bro. Whoever that is.
I mean, don't shout out to him.
Who's that?
You don't want to shout out to him.
This is how young Spanish kids get when they have Vicks put on them.
Marv, though. I don't know why you hiding over there. You know.
Freezes the chest.
It stings the nostrils. I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, Harold's really hyped about the opportunity, but like, you know it's gonna go bad. I did notice the artwork took a hit around this time. I was wondering whether it was intentional, or if it's just more Oda vision issues. So I was a little concerned about that. And then I like when they do the like entire castle is being like bubbly now because of the reaction, like the scream. If that's the case, somebody else on this island heard this, right? Like, is that a normal thing? Nobody reacted to that? Nobody?
Gorosei go tripping again.
Yeah, like, I guess we gotta do Holy Night. Like, what do y'all think is happening when new Holy Nights are promoted? Because
they hear that.
this is what you hear.
I don't know.
Harold is Harold. Harold's a giant. He's stronger than most people. So.
I don't know how.
I think he's louder than most
That's
people.
true too.
Yeah.
That's probably true too. Yeah. I don't know,
He's a
but
big guy.
I have more thoughts on the next part of the chapter, but
Same.
I'm not gonna rub it in Larry's face the way y'all want me to, man. It's cool. I'm sorry, but I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
It's alright though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, that's it for me.
Law?
Okay, so we get confirmation. I know Sebastian alluded to it a little bit. If you guys are paying attention to the timeline and the math, Shanks stayed on Mary Joa, serving as a devoted blade to Imu for about a year, right? And to me, it was all purposeful. Like, he was on a mission of his own right, not serving Imu, but he had an agenda. What he was trying to do, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
If we'll get it, hopefully. But we do know in that one chapter where he mentions he did want to speak to Harald.
Yeah.
Right? So that's part of, like he said, because he also mentions there's something that we couldn't speak on Mary Joa. So he came to Elbath immediately to speak to Harald about it, you know? But also, too, I don't know if Shanks was determined or would have picked it up, because especially when we got, like, seeing Harald now, and especially later on. No, I think that's it. You covered that, yeah. Seeing Harald is now, this dude made a snitch on Shanks, you know what I'm saying? Like, how devoted he was to our government, he would have been like, yo, Shanks actually an op. Like, I don't know if that would have worked out for Shanks. He would have been out here running for his life, because I kind of feel like the way where Harald was going, he would have flipped on Shanks if Shanks came here. Yo, so the real reason we're here, because you know, Harald is like, oh yeah.
Well, I will say, if he told him what he finds out later, I don't think he snitches on Shanks. But if he just says, yo, I'm trying to do this or that behind their back, he snitches.
He's snitching on Shanks, man. He's like,
I got something interesting to say in
Okay.
the next part about Shanks.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious of why he went there Because also, too, we know he freed the slaves, right? Aided that. And so, like, I'm curious about that. But also, now we also get to, all right, the level or the lowest level to know when the knights find out about Emu. If we're using Harald as a guide, for example, right? So we know the devoted blades do not know about Emu yet. Only when they go to the next step, as into the hold on, I want to read you what it says.
Maybe not all devoted blades of God,
Yeah.
because if that is Gunko,
Yeah.
then Gunko knew,
Yeah.
even while being a devoted blade of God for like mad long.
Right. So that's something.
Emo about them hoes, man. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to know.
Yo,
like,
low key,
okay.
he got
He said,
Lily.
hey, listen,
he got a
listen, you keep the huzz around.
yeah, bro.
Or at least reminders.
Anyway.
Priorities are priorities, man.
He had a picture of Shirahoshi, Vivi,
Yeah, Vivi too. Yeah.
Lily, Gunko around.
They ain't got no TVs on there. They ain't got no computers with some incognito modes for my guy.
Okay.
I guess he always in incognito mode, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up.
I'm thinking what he said. I desire Lily, Vivi.
I'm gonna shut up.
But anyway, right? Because I don't know.
I got to have it.
I got
Gots to
that
have
little
it.
color. I got to have. Anyway, I don't know if Shanks knows about Emu. To my mind, he doesn't yet because he didn't go to that next state, unless but find out. But yeah, so I'm just curious to what he was doing. But also too, I'm curious to because Odin gave us so I want to not correct, but to show what I was reading it, how I understood it.
Mm-hmm.
What are these missions that they're going on that's gaining Emu's trust for this, right? Because to me, what he says right here, thou shalt create a abyss on Elbeth. That is how you'll be bound to us. I think that's different from the mission he alludes to.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
when that
agree.
had completed, then your duty after that. So I think that's separate. Now that's your connection with us, how we're going to communicate with you and be able to come in and out, whatever, right? But when you complete your final mission, then pretty much you'll be accepted. Elbeth will be accepted into that. So I think that's different.
So Harold just been like a Grand Theft Auto character for like 10 years.
Yeah,
pretty
Missions,
much.
Trying
He was Tommy Rossetti,
Pretty
and
much.
Emu was Lance.
dang, man. I remember Lance. Why did I just say Lance?
No, he's like Lance.
Lance. Don't. Yo, Lance really switched on you though, bro.
Yeah.
That got me so mad in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Why he do that?
It's Vice City, baby.
That was my guy, bro. I was like,
It's
I
the
like
city.
the Lance missions, man.
Okay, yeah. So that's all I really had.
Okay.
For now. Yeah.
All right. So, first off, I was completely surprised by Harald's decision to abdicate the throne of Elbaf. I know he promised Ida, while she was still alive, that he'd travel the world with her. But once she passed, he committed himself to seeing their mission through to the very end, to the Elbaf crowd, right? So, even before that, he tore off his ancient giant horns and declared he would become a slave of the world government. That's not a role with an end date, right? You don't get to choose when slavery ends.
Word.
Unless you're Kanye
I
West.
mean, all that conviction,
You know what I'm saying?
all that conviction he was talking about. And now
Yeah.
you like, nah, yo, I'm a.
Exactly. So, Ida is gone. His path is set. So, what exactly did he think would happen after giving up his crown? If the world government made it this difficult for him just to join their alliance, what would they do to the next king? Someone who might not be as strong as Harald, one, or hold the same perspectives on Elbaf's future. And beyond that, what about the naval giants who are finally building a good reputation for giants across the world? But the biggest question here is this. Who did Harald believe was the younger and purer prospect deserving of the throne? It's obviously not Chief Jarl. He's too old. The only real possibilities are Loki or Haruden, like Seb said. And honestly, that lines up perfectly with what Harald told them when they were kids. He said, Haruden, Loki, you are my sons, and I love you both. I want you two to work together to support Elbaf after I'm gone. When you revisit that line, it almost confirms Harald's plan. It suggests he fully expected to travel to Marine Ford and submit himself to the world government. At that point, he had no idea whether they'd be like they would accept him or what their response would be. But maybe Harald intended to abdicate the throne to both Haruden and Loki, forming a dual kingship, similar to how giant warrior pirates always had two captains in Yarul and Yoru, or even how, like Emu said, both Dory and Bragi would be the kings of Elbaf. Maybe in Harald's mind, there were only two possible outcomes. The first one, he becomes a slave to the world government and never returns home. 2, he succeeds, Ida recovers, and the two of them fulfill their dream, traveling the world while leaving Elbaf in the hands of two kings and a nation finally accepted with open arms. Maybe that was the plan for a long time, but once he allowed himself to be branded, once he truly became a slave, and once Ida passed away, it feels like he was holding on to dreams that could never be realized. And that's why this choice still kind of shocks me. It's like he refuses to leave the delusion. I genuinely wonder what his thoughts were about the ruler who would replace him. Because I don't think that... It's hard to say.
He didn't position either of them to do it.
Exactly.
So
it's hard to say, like, would they be any better than Harald? Even though Harald clearly is making every bad choice possible. I just don't know if Haruden or Loki could fulfill that position. But anyway, so before we get deeper into the chapter, I want to address the covenant debate me and Sebastian had and clear things up. I was wrong about Harald being in a covenant. Here's where I slipped up. I assumed Harald was already a holy knight, while he was still a devoted blade of God. And from that assumption, I believed he already held a covenant, the same way Gunko or even Shanks might have, specifically the Shallows covenant, because it seems to be the lowest grade of bond to Emu. From that angle, my argument moved forward. Sebastian pushed back, saying Emu doesn't hand out immortality to just anyone, especially not a potential double agent. But I was stuck on the misinterpretation that made Holy Knights and Devoted Blades of God seem like the same thing. That confusion turned into a debate over whether the Shallows covenant granted immortality at all. I argued it did because in my mind, any covenant did. Sebastian argued it didn't. The whole conversation got confusing and messy, and that's on me. I misunderstood the source, and it derailed the debate. I own that. But let me also say this. If people expect me to apologize endlessly to satisfy their dislike, that's not happening. I'll be wrong again in the future. That's part of theorizing, part of loving One Piece, and honestly part of the fun of this show. What I could promise is that I'll keep improving, pay closer attention, and bring you the best takes I can every week. Now, with that being said, I do want to point out something I was right about. Around a year ago, I said the reason the Holy Knights, Gunko and Shamrock, were able to summon themselves directly to Oris Castle inside Harald's throne room was because someone had to have placed that summoning point there. That was a Holy Knight. I originally thought it might have been Somers or Gunko, since they visited Elbaf before. That part was off. But the core idea that a specific person had created that connection, I was right about that. It turns out Harald was the one who set it up, which is exactly why Shamrock and Gunko could appear during the current timeline. So yeah, I got part of the theory wrong, but I also got part of it right. And that's the game. We learn, we adjust, and we keep cooking. All right?
Yeah. Also, just to follow up on that, we had conversations about, like, who could be the traitor in Elbaf, whatever. We talked about Harald. And I think something we highlighted was that they speak about Harald like they know him.
Yeah.
And it's because he was a god. He was basically a god steal and almost a holy knight for, like, 10 years there. They was working with bro. Mm-hmm. Probably on direct missions together at times. So when they speak, are you here to visit Harald's grave? It's like, because we was in the trenches with dude for some time. But... yeah, that just hit me.
So, I want to go back to Harald right after Emu grants him immortality. At that moment, everything changes, right? Emu removes any possibility of abdication, so you're done, bro. Harald can't step down anymore. He is now locked into the throne forever. So what happens next? What's his plan now? Is he going to tell the people he'll stay young forever because of a devil fruit he supposedly found on his travels instead of eating the royal devil fruit passed down through the generations? How does he expect Loki and Haruden to take over after him if he can't pass away, can't retire, and can't pass the crown? And once he's fulfilled his and Ida's mission, what did he think he'd actually do with Elbaf afterward with this immortality? This is where Harald breaks my heart as a character. He is phenomenal, but he is also all brawn and very little strategic thinking in moments where it matters most. This wasn't a blessing. It wasn't an honor like he mentioned before. It was a leash, an internal servitude to a false god. And he had to know deep down that this wasn't going to benefit him personally. But he still accepted it, believing that the sacrifice of his own freedom would secure a better life for his people. The problem is, I don't see how those two things could coexist with immortality at play. Harald is an arrogant, stubborn, and sometimes a foolish man, but he's also written beautifully. He's a character we all resonate with, someone we want to protect, someone we want to succeed. And that's why it hurts so much to watch him make every wrong choice possible. We root for him, and it's painful seeing him walk straight into tragedy with his head held high.
So, how do I say this? I agree with almost everything you said. The only thing I give slight pushback is, being immortal doesn't mean you won't age, right? Because Garling is already a holy knight of this level.
Mm-hmm.
And he's aged.
Yeah.
So like he can still, like, you just can't like die from like normal means, I guess. But he's aging. Shamrock is aged since we see him here, and he seemingly has this covenant already.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
It depends
I
on
assume
which covenant, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're giving him things that they're not giving the other dudes, right?
I think the Gorosei have shown that they've looked the same over
Yeah, because I think they're in that
many years.
upper echelon covenant, right, of Abyssal.
So if Garling has something lesser,
Yeah, so I think Garling has this, or had this whole time. He's probably just recently got the Abyssal one.
yes.
So it's like now he's done with the aging piece.
Mm-hmm.
But like Harald should still age. He's just like immortal in the sense that he won't die.
If
from
he has
stuff.
the same thing that Garling has.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been theorizing or thinking from this. Damn, I had something else. I forgot what it was. My bad. Well, I'll open it up to the law because I can't remember the other piece.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
No, because to Larry's stuff, like if you had anything.
Yeah, if you don't, then you don't.
No.
But I'm just like,
I have
bro.
some time later on.
He be lacking, bro. He don't.
Like, what would you have done? What would you tell the people?
So it's just something that I thought of at the end of the chapter, and even when they were celebrating in this moment in the chapter, it's like Harald needed to write him in. Like he needed an advisor.
Yep.
Like I don't read Kingdom, but in Kingdom, a lot of these like great generals and generals that are like high up there, they have an advisor, a tactician, a strategist, somebody with them. All the kings have some second in command. Lawrence, you read worse than Crows. They have vice heads. They have people, even in One Piece, you have somebody with you that can lead you in the right direction. And it seems, funnily enough, you wanted Ida to be that for Harald. You know what I'm saying? That's what you wanted. She was never probably going to be that. But he's on the ship with these people, and they're like cheering and toasting. Oh, yeah, let's have a toast. Where's your guy? And I get that he can't have these conversations with that person there because nobody can know. But, like, he's a king walking this stuff alone while still listening to elders and consorting with Saul and Ja Rule. But it's like, yo, you need somebody to run some of this stuff by so they can be like, hey, maybe don't do that.
Crazy, it should have been the elders.
You would think,
But
right?
somehow they're just not that. They just hold no
bigots.
weight.
They don't even exist, bro.
Yeah,
It's just people in an old home just
He got
complaining.
He got a whole Gorosei up there, and nobody's. You don't even see them.
You know who
Yeah,
Harold
never.
is? Because you guys are saying is right.
He Marco.
He's. I was actually gonna say
That's disrespectful.
It
I
is,
shouldn't say
'cause,
that. He's Roxas Marco.
He's. I was gonna say he's kind of in a way Odin, but he took the king's seat. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, I get
Because
you.
Odin didn't rely on his
Nah,
people.
yo, Odin would have never
No, he never would have
did what he did.
No, Odin would never did that.
Odin would have never did that.
No,
That's
he wouldn't.
crazy.
He would not sign with Emu.
Never.
Hold on.
Oda's the surrogate.
Hold on.
We can't get into this though.
Hold
We ain't got enough
on.
time. We got an hour and 30 left.
All right, I'll be quick. Odin knew more about the duplicitous nature of Kaido and Orochi than Harald did about the world government and Emo and them boys, and he still danced.
No.
No. There was a deal
Harold
made.
knew more.
They-
Harold knew more.
No. They showed Odin who they were from jump.
Yeah, but they
showed that. He doesn't know that about Emu.
yeah.
Harold doesn't know that about He doesn't know Emu exists. He doesn't know that about the Gorosei. He knows the world government and the celestial dragons are grimy. He's like, these people rule the world and the people and the humans.
Mm-hmm.
That's human stuff.
Yeah.
Odin knew. Orochi showcase. Yo, I'm grimy. To his face. I am a piece of. I have hostages right now. If you don't act right, I'm clipping them. Right here, right now, I'm doing this.
So the difference is too, so like the world government could have hurt Ida, and Harold would have continued prospering with trying to make Elbaf affiliated with the world government. Whereas Odin saw Toki shot with an arrow and went to go square up with Orochi.
Okay.
That's the difference.
He still danced though.
No,
The dancing still happened.
You're forgetting one, two things. One, Odin, first time meeting Kaido, right? Kaido is not a factor. He's this random person that could turn to a dragon that showed up, right? So that one. But also, Orochi disguised himself as a friend where Odin was lending him money first on, right?
But that was exposed now.
Yeah. No, it was exposed because, like, all right, he took the king because in Odin's eyes, he's looking at this guy sought for power, and then when I was gone, capitalized on that power. And then when I threatened his power, he was like, hold on, I have hostages. I will let
Hostages.
them hostages.
But Lord, this is what I'm saying. This is Orochi showcasing what his actual nature is live to Odin.
Yeah, Sebastian, what I'm trying to say is, right? But then he's like, all right, if you want, we're striking a deal here, right? If you don't attack, you dance, you humiliate yourself, I will let these people go, right? You're working out a deal. There is no deal with Emu.
Fair.
And when Odin found out that the deal wasn't,
He crashed out.
he crashed out. Exactly.
That's fair. I'm just saying.
Harold never crashes out.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, Harold never crashes out.
We don't know.
Ever.
No, he crashed out on this giant that was,
His own people.
his own people.
You know when he crashed out? He crashed out and said, "Yo, I want to be a slave."
I wanna be-
That was his
I'm putting my
crash out.
horns out.
Yeah. But anyway, let's read 4 super chats. Let's not spend too much time, and then hit the final part of the chat, and then we'll read all the super chats as much as we want. Yeah.
All right, we got another 2 from Brown Sound. It says, "Got a fat bowl of spaghetti. How you doing?"
How you doing,
Yeah, I actually made some spaghetti.
Monkey D. Luffy?
Another 5 from Fellwinter Peak. "Larry, with your interest in strong women, it's time to choose. The fighter Chi-Chi or the intelligent Bulma. P.S. Launch too crazy."
Bulma.
Yeah, it's Boba kind of hands down. I'm sorry.
I don't want a woman that I have to like square up with. I want a woman that can square up with me mentally.
I was trying to find an argument to say Chi-Chi over Bulma, but I can't find it.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm
can't
telling you
find
right
it. I'm
now.
not gonna
No.
lie.
I would say Chi-Chi is probably a better mother than Bulma.
That's debatable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's debatable.
Bulma brought Trunks, baby Trunks, to where the androids would appear. Chi-Chi had Gohan at home telling him he couldn't leave to go fight Cell. Clearly a difference in parenting. Are we serious?
A little bit.
You can't be serious.
I'm still a little bit, yeah.
Bulma
Stop.
allowed for their kids to train their mind and their body. Bulma allowed that. Chi-Chi, only the mind.
What are you talking about?
You the first one who said we can't linger on these things.
All right, my bad. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Another 5 from Papa Placid. "Emu is the messenger, the devil. Also, I have a theory that hockey used against Zebek is called divine hockey, using life essence, #HockeyChuck. We've had some
like the life
conversations
essence.
about the life essence hockey stuff before.
Yeah. I don't like when peak hockey has limitations where it takes away from your life. Like that's Because then you could only use it like what, once every 10 years? It's so whack.
But use what every 10 years?
Like your strongest, if you have access to abilities that can like reach peak of the peak of hockey, but like it drains your actual life energy, your life force. I don't know. I don't mind it personally, but
I don't want that.
we'll see. Number 2 from Nick Reed: Dirty 30 and Slow Grower. #law on it. Yeah, bro, he was wilding. Another 5 from Cobalt King. I just want to say, when I read this chapter, I knew Larry would be sweating. He was probably fine. I gotta watch your live reaction.
Sweating.
Probably fine. And another 34 months from our guy Nerdtaku, man. It says 0.1% of watchers in almost 3 years as a Nakama. I'm number 1. Yo, Taku, shout out to
Thank
you,
you,
man.
Taku, bro.
Thank you,
I hope the
Taku.
baby's doing well.
Yeah,
and
man.
the wife is doing
Wifey
better.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's get back into it.
Yeah. Let's get into the final part of the chapter, guys. We return to Oris Castle, where King Harald sits alone, where his guards are on the outside, in his throne. In the heart of the throne room, the Abyss Circle, the very bond tying Harald and Elbaf to Emu, is now fully formed. Harald, visibly uneasy, asks Emu to repeat themselves, because they just said something. Emu does not appear physically, yet their voice echoes directly into Harald's mind. They declare that they wish to use the entirety of Elbaf to forge an army of warriors. Moreover, Harald is to build a grand fleet to rival the Navy and act for the benefit of the world. That is thy... Before Emu could finish, Harald throws up his hands and shouts for Emu to stop. His whole life has been dedicated to ending Elbaf's endless cycle of fighting. His people have finally found that peace, except for those who choose to enlist in the Navy on their own. But this? Using Elbaf as an engine of war? Not like this. The guards in the throne room look around in confusion, unsure who their king is speaking to. Suddenly, Emu's voice roars. Thou saidst history would be atoned for. Thou saidst thou wouldst be a slave. Harald snaps back, insisting he only meant himself. But Emu grows furious. History is not so light that it may be shouldered by thee alone. Do not speak back. Thou canst not disobey. Moo. Sweat forms across Harald's brow. Emu continues. Those who accept the depth's covenant are granted immortality and strength, but must obey orders in return. Think what thou wilt. Moo shall have its way. Harald suddenly begins walking forward. He's horrified. His body is moving without his command. He realizes Emu is controlling him, and by extension, controlling Elbaf itself. He clutches at his Holy Knight brand, thoughts racing. There was never any intention to bring Elbaf into the circle of the world. He curses Emu under his breath. Desperate, Harald shouts to his guards, "Take up arms!" They look around, bewildered, wondering who he's talking about. Who are you talking to? Harald seizes his sword, drops to one knee, and orders them to chain him to a pillar. The guards freeze, baffled. He urges them to move quickly and to summon Chief Yarul and his sons. They reply that Haruden is out at sea and Loki is still in prison for what he did. Harald mutters that he can no longer resist. His forehead presses against the pillar, sweat dripping as the guards' confusion turns to panic. They beg him to explain what's happening. Harald roars for them to release Loki. Deep in the underworld, holding cells, Loki receives the order. He is to report to Oris Castle immediately. His father has summoned him. At Yarul's home, he wonders what emergency could demand his presence so urgently. Then narration cuts in. But now, let us return to the tale. On this day, there was a terrible massacre within the castle, and the most beloved ruler in the history of Elbaf, wise King Harald, perished. We see Harald's portrait hanging on the castle wall. For the last part of the chapter, what were your thoughts? And since Marv stepped away, we'll start with Seb.
Okay. It's really tragic what's happening to Harald. But at the same time, how you ain't see this coming? On some level. I know we got more information about all these people and things and capabilities than Harald got, but I really thought back to A lot of things, man. One, it sucks because I feel like we get this trope in some series every now and then where like the king he's a wise king, but he goes mad. Like he basically becomes the mad king. Mm-hmm. But it's him being manipulated by Emu to become a mad king, to become this version of himself that he never would have been. Harald's face and his disbelief, like, oh my God, like this can't be happening. I just sacrificed all this. I did all this to get to this point, and you're basically spitting in the face of that. Everything I worked for decades now. Mm-hmm. Dozens of years, literally decades. He's actively screaming out to Emu, like, yo, you can't do this. This was only supposed to be for me. And Emu's, I will say this, I hate how Emu speaks. I do. I really do.
It's archaic.
You make it better the way you read it.
Appreciate you.
Can't stand reading that crap, yo. Just talk normal. I can't stand it.
He's an old man or they're old person.
Give it the times, bro. But anyway, but I get it though. It's supposed to be old timey, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it's archaic, bro.
It's gotta feel crazy for him because again, literally earlier today, I didn't know this person existed, and now he's speaking to me telepathically in this vein, controlling my body and my movements, telling me to do the thing that I swore I would never do. Mobilize Elbaf in a way that causes all this strife. And it's so bad because I don't know how long ago Ida's death was, but it probably wasn't that long ago. Oh, how long? It's like a year ago or something like that? Last year, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, he's still, I don't say fresh on that, but like, it's in the same chapter. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In general, like, he's like, curse you, Emu, grabbing at the thing, like grabbing at it. And the whole time, his people are outside the doors like, yo, who's His Majesty talking to? What's going on? And it really is sad, man. And I think it's telling in the moment when it's happening, he calls out, and he's like, yo, go get my sons. Go get both of them. And obviously we know we power scale, whatever. Loki's very clearly the stronger son.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. He knows that.
Of course.
But he said go get both of them. Mm-hmm. And for Harald to be off island, I was wondering about what he's doing. And I know he has his giant warrior pirate stuff that he's got going on. Obviously, this is before the buggy stuff. Mm. I don't even know if they've started that yet, but he's seriously been leaving like Elbaf often. Mm. I figured maybe to get some sort of cure for his mom. Maybe he's looking for that fire fruit. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing, but like he's off island. He doesn't know what's going to happen. Loki's locked up, and it's like the dude about to go on a rampage and start murking everybody. Like he feels it. I can't resist anymore. Mm-hmm. I can't stop this. Just release him. And we'll see what ends up happening. The role Shanks plays in this. Fruit's getting stolen. Loki ended up having to take his dad out. I did like that Harald seemingly has this, and I know it's not the same as Rox, but Rox was able to like resist Emu for a time, even though he was right there in the pocket. Harald's like having this resistance in real time too, from a distance. So I'm like, maybe it's something that you need to be a conqueror to resist.
Yeah,
you know absolutely. What I'm saying? Like you have to be this strong to be able to resist Emu's temptation and resist Emu's stuff. Like the zone with the eyes, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is like, it's not One Piece almost, like what we're seeing here. But it's really just sad. He called for Ja Rule as well. I thought that was funny because I was like, I know he has to be involved, but what's this dude gonna do, bro? Like, I know, like, he's a legend in his own right.
Ja Rule's pretty strong.
We talking about Harald and Loki.
No, I get you. I get you. No, I really do get you.
But I get what you mean. It's just funny to me.
Sovereignty happens to be a very powerful move, regardless of.
Yeah. So, it's just, I'm excited to see what happens next and how it all actually unfolds. I do wonder if Harald, obviously he's going to get taken over, seemingly anyway. But
so I said, because you remember how you used to always be like, "Where's John?
Where's John?"
Sorry to cut you off.
That's so funny.
But you haven't done it for a while, and Ice Cold Juice just did it.
I forgot.
Call John.
Where's John? Oh man, it's funny because Mark got that Ja Rule magazine in the thing. I saw it earlier today. That's so funny. Anyway, I'm really curious to see what happens next. I do hope that Harald's able to get similar to Rock's in
Yeah.
the sense that like he's had his wits about him, his actual consciousness back before he passed. If the same thing ends up happening and we see him get stabbed up in the throne room when Loki gets there, so we're gonna see that. I'm hoping that he's able to have some sort of conversation with Loki in a way that Rox wasn't able to have with anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. But
There has to be a difference.
yeah, I'm
between
hoping
Domain
to,
Reversi and the Covenants.
yeah. So we'll see. But sucks for Harald, man. It really does. And every time I see this castle looking like that, I just think of Smash Bros. So
Oh, that one stage with the
Yeah.
little pocket. That's where the real ones
Is it
fall.
every
Link?
time.
Is it like Link?
I don't remember what it was called. Marv, you know what it's called? Zelda's
Yeah,
Temple. Yeah,
Zelda's
every
Temple.
time I see it, I think of that.
I knew I had to do something with Link.
Yeah, but that's it for me.
All right, Lawrence, cool.
Okay, so one, reading this. This goes into like where Harald. So remember I talked about the ancient giants like Ors being stupid,
Yeah.
right? This is what I thought of, like how mainly I thought about like how gullible they are, and then what led to like their passing. When I was reading this moment, this is what I thought of. I go, Harald, you didn't diffuse the allegations because you're part of the ancient giants in a way, right? You were so easily manipulated. It didn't take much, right, for you to get to this point. Because to me, you're like, huh? Wait, what? Then he was asking for this, and you're like, well, hold on, right? Because it's kind of like you said, someone said illusion or delusional, right? It's like, what did you think was gonna happen? You think he's just gonna be satisfied with you, right?
Pause.
Satisfied with you because also too, right? You talked about like how he said, I just intended for myself. That was in your mind. He wasn't gonna make a deal with it. It's only gonna be you. You thought I'm just gonna offer myself, and my country's gonna be safe. Why would he agree to that? When he never agreed to that. That wasn't a statement that you two had with each other, right? And also too, right? I was so like going like dumbness wise because Sebastian, we were just talking about before. When I say he's like Odin, but Odin's not such a fool as Harald was because he says right here and it says guards come to arms. Underneath it says you were planning to make warriors of Elbaf your slaves. To me, it was just like I was waiting for. Rox, you were right. This entire time, I was like, what did he tell you? This entire time.
We might get that next chapter.
I don't think we are.
We might. I would assume Harold thinks back to Rox at some point.
So
that was his man.
The reason why
I think the flashback is over.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out.
It's not over.
Because it says right here, present day. It says present day.
Yo, Seb, I think
I think it's over.
I think it's over, bro.
No, it says let us return to the
story.
story. No. Because the flashback, the blackness of the pages is still black after that. If we were returning to the current story, this would start fading back to the normal background manga panels.
maybe.
And in general, Loki's supposed to be telling us this. This is what the original flashback was for. This.
Okay.
We got all this as a prelude to that.
I will say
hope
this.
so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Man, no, that would be crazy. Cutting away from this to get back to Howard and like, damn, that's what happened? That's wild. What?
I hope so.
No.
Yeah, I hope so
It
too.
can't
I
happen.
hope so.
It can't happen.
Because I was in the same thing, yo. If I go, Oda, you're gonna end it like this because this is the point we came to this point, right? Because also too, there's something I just realized, right? Yes. Going back to the pure thing. One, I don't think Harold views Loki as pure. Yes, he's younger, but as pure. I think he would view Hadruden more as pure, where Loki is the younger one than Hadruden, right? But they also, Hadruden, I think he said because he is the captain of the pirates, the giant pirates, he can't become king now, right? But also, you don't really want Loki as king because how he's been.
I will say, in Harold's mind, because of what his life was like before he met Ida, he probably views each of them as purer than him.
Because remember his conversation with Neptune, how he viewed Loki. It took Neptune to tell him, dude, he still wasn't as bad as you, bro. Like, but he was real. Like, this guy is just so crazy. Loki's this, and that. He goes, yeah, but you were worse, Harold. You know, which is I don't even know if that's fully true because it was 15 years.
Nah, I'm gonna be real, it's true.
Because like 15 years, he changed. Loki's way past 15 years, and he's still,
Lawrence,
you know what I'm saying?
Loki terrorizes Elbaf. Harold was doing this stuff to random civilian nations across the New World at a whim.
Yeah.
Chucking boogers at ships and ending lives.
It was a shark.
Either way.
Booger chucker.
Yeah, like
you bugger. Yeah.
He was Lord. They said, "Yo, if you asked anybody, the king of Elbaf was a genuine piece of crap.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody who would ever interact with him.
Okay, maybe, right? But also, it took that where like it took Ida to change, obviously, Harald, right? You would need something at least that could to try to even move Loki. Because, yeah, Ida, I understand Loki's not in love with Ida. That what caused Harald to change, what I believe, was his love for her. Loki would need that, but I don't think Loki's going to get that. So, in the end, he wouldn't be the proper... If you want Elbaf to go the way it was, because right now, if Loki becomes king, let's put it this way. Loki becomes king, he's undoing all what Harald did. It's going back to a nation with fighting is their preference. Because that's what Loki wants. He's been saying it.
So, yo, we ending all this woke crap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, get out of here.
Making Elbaf great again.
That's literally the shit what Loki's gonna do.
Manga?
He says it.
MEGA. Yeah, stupid.
But that's exactly.
Yo, y'all stupid, man. They saying this Shirahoshi that's gonna do it too. Ain't no way, man.
No, she's not. No, I don't think she could, but she might be too soft for because you see how Ida was strong willed. Shirahoshi's a crybaby. Loki's not gonna respond to that. Like we're like legit. Ida punched Harald in the face. You know what I'm saying? Shirahoshi's not doing that to Loki. She's not. Anyway, so what I'm going at, right? So going with that mind. He calls for them, right? I wanted to think of like all the warnings that Rox gave to Harald to think like, yo, what he told me about Emu in the world government is like it's all holding true. Like these people are evil because like they showed that, right? I can't find this, right? But to me, we better get it because if you think about it, right, this led to me believe, Loki definitely clipped Harald because you have to think about it. He's immortal. There's no way the guards were enough to stop him, right? So he's calling, to me, what I thought he called Harald and his sons wasn't necessarily to like stop him. I think it was like to help him figure out, be like advisors, right? So like Jarul, I think it's his most, Jarul would be one of his most trusted advisors because he's older than him, but he grew up with Harald then, right? And then you have Loki and his son, right, Hadrudin, as in my sons. You want them to know what's going on with you. I'm about to be taken over, right, to crash out and attack the nation, right? Mm-hmm. So, but if you look at it, he's immortal at this time, right? We already saw what it takes to even affect the Knights. It takes his strong hockey, all that stuff. What the guards are doing would not already be enough to stop Harald, right? So Loki, what I'm saying is that Loki, obviously his hand was forced here to take out Harald. Because Loki even says he couldn't really put his words into what he did to probably take out his dad. But he probably used a strong conqueror's hockey or whatever he's doing, forcibly had to take out his dad. And I kind of believe Harald probably like did something to kind of like stop himself to let Loki do it. Right? But Loki also crashed out and took the fruit. So I think Loki did take out his dad, but Loki trying to explain it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like I wanted to do so. It was like my hand was forced, and our dad, Harald, told me and wanted me to do it while he was doing his best to fight it off. Same thing with the Rox and Roger thing, you know? Take me out. And I think Loki did that, right? Because that would be the only way to stop the Knights. Because you would need a strong hockey, especially conqueror's hockey, to stop someone immortal by Emu. Because the guards, there's no way that scene we saw the Harald get taken out and that was it and Loki crashed out because they took out my dad. Loki's the one that did it because he would be the only one strong enough or with the hockey strong enough to do so. So that's what I think kind of what happened. So I think he called his sons to try kind of like get them to know the situation. Don't think I'm just going to attack Elbaf. You guys could reason with me. Like he wanted his sons to know the truth, like what's going on. But obviously only Loki showed up and then Loki crashed out by that. So that's what I think what happened. But Loki definitely took out his dad, but it was like through his own will, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right. Both of you guys done, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got a couple things to say. Before we get into the Emu and Harald portion of what I'm going to say, I want to jump back to Shanks. I told you guys that I had something to say about Shanks.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably like this. I think I fully understand why Shanks wasn't at Mary Jo anymore. And the answer goes way, way back. So I need everybody to time travel with me for a second. When Roger and his crew reached the final island and named it Laugh Tale, they learned everything. Joy Boy's story, the true history, the whole thing. But they couldn't act on any of it. And when Roger comes back, he meets up with Buggy and Shanks, who had been left behind. Buggy, because he got sick, and Shanks because he stayed to take care of him. Remember? So the moment Shanks sees Roger, he runs up to him, asks him a question, and after Roger answers, Shanks just breaks down crying. We never learned what that question was, but I've always believed Roger told Shanks 3 things. 1, his true heritage, of course, that he's a celestial dragon found in a treasure chest by Aftergod Valley. 2, he's not the chosen one, even though he grew up believing he was and was told numerous amount of times throughout his childhood. 3, and Joy Boy was real, and that it still wasn't time to act. Later on, Roger basically confirms all of this indirectly. He tells Rayleigh they were born too early and that someone else, not Shanks, would find the One Piece. That would be his son. Odin is dropped off at Wano. He tells the crew that Wano must open its borders before Joy Boy appears, right in front of Shanks' face. So, even though Shanks didn't go to Laugh Tale, when the crew came back, Shanks walked away with 4 massive revelations. 1, he wasn't a celestial dragon. 2, he's not the chosen one, just a chosen child of fate. 3, Joy Boy is real. And 4, the time to act hasn't arrived. And Shanks doesn't know how to process any of this. He needs answers. But then Roger is executed. That destroys him. His dream of being carefree pirates with Buggy ends right there. He even tells Buggy that going to Laugh Tale isn't the goal anymore. Tries to get Buggy to join him, and Buggy refuses. We remember that little scene, right? Mm-hmm. So Shanks starts over. He builds a crew, Yassop first, then Ben Beckman, and then Lucky Root. His legend grows. He finds Uta inside a treasure chest, exactly how he was found, solidifying his belief in fate even more. His duels with Mihawk is countless. He crosses paths with Blackbeard and gets the scar. And eventually, Shanks decides it's time. He needs answers. So where does he go? Marijoa. That's why he still has the bandage on his eye where Blackbeard left it, right? He steps into the role of a celestial dragon. He speaks to his older twin brother Shamrock. He learns more about the Holy Land. He meets Harald, who probably recognized him from an off-screen Roger Pirates interaction for Roger building the Oral Jackson with wood from the Atom Tree. Later, Shanks tells Rayleigh that he and Harald actually formed a bond and that there was one question he wanted to ask Harald in chapter 1152, something they couldn't discuss within Marijoa. He wanted to talk before it was too late. Mm-hmm. Shanks leaves Marijoa. Harald probably covers for him, playing the fool that he disappeared. And then when Loki asks Shamrock if he and Shanks are really brothers, Shamrock gives that cold line about the estranged younger brother who returned once he preferred the filth of the lower world. So eventually Shanks seeks Harald out to ask that one question, but this is when everything collapses. Harald gets possessed by Emu. His guards attack him. Loki and Yarul get dragged into chaos, and I believe a possessed Harald steals the forbidden devil fruit passed down the Elbaf royal bloodline to give to Emu after he defeats Loki and Chief Yarul. But during this time, Shanks and Rayleigh arrive, because they were there. Gabon. They both... Gabon, my bad, Gabon. Mm. They both fight Harald, and they both use Mass Critical Supreme King Haki to defeat Harald. Rayleigh puts the fruit back, and that's why he knew where the key to Loki's cuff were located, surrounded by empty treasure chests behind the throne room, when he told Roto. That fruit eventually ends up with Cypher Pole under Who's Who after someone steals it from the treasure room on Elbaf. Shanks realizes that is the fruit he came to ask about, the fruit of Joy Boy, the fruit Joy Boy used. So he steals it back and he heads to Fuchsia Village to find Roger's son, Ace, because Shanks believes Ace is the chosen one destined to find the One Piece, but instead Luffy eats it. Luffy gets kidnapped. Shanks chases after him, protects him, bets his arm on him, cuts off his ties to Mary Joa officially, and tells Whitebeard he's putting everything on the new era. He's betting everything on the new era. He tells Rayleigh and Gabon about Luffy. Gabon goes to Crocus to confirm Luffy really resembles Roger because Luffy met Crocus. Then this part is big. Shanks defeats Loki, captures him, and instead of bringing him to the Marines to get his bounty, he brings Loki back to Elbaf. Why? Because now Shanks knows what needs to be done to help the real Chosen One, and Loki is going to be essential for Luffy. So here are the questions I think Shanks desperately wanted answered. 1, is Joy Boy's Devil Fruit really on Elbaf? That was the question he wanted to ask Harald. 2, was Ace truly the Chosen One? He finds out Luffy is. 3, who is the false god ruling Mari Joa? 4, when is the right time to pursue the One Piece? And finally, Shanks sees Luffy's Gear 5th on a bounty poster. Everything clicks. The fruit was on Elbaf. Luffy is the Chosen One. The time has come. And Shanks now has a reason to challenge Emu and chase the One Piece.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with it all. I don't have any real pushback for that, to be honest. I guess it's not really a question per se. It's more of a what does he think his role is now, though? Because technically, to fulfill what Roger would have asked of him, he would have done that already, technically, by giving Luffy the fruit, by giving someone the fruit. I guess now he's just monitoring to hope that the person that he gave it to was the right person. Because Ace is gone now. Mm-hmm. Ace, he couldn't have been him, right? Or at least in the future, in this timeline that they're in, it couldn't have been Ace.
Yeah.
So he's like, he already bet on it being Luffy, and it's like, what is Shanks' role now? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that I've been trying to figure out all this time. Because y'all know me, I'm a Blackbeard takes out Shanks guy. But like Roger didn't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? Like I know if he was tasked with something, it was get it to Ace or get it to the next generation or whatever. But what is your goal now? You're the sage. You're this person that's kind of been bridging the gaps from generations. But like, what's your mission now? Do you fight your dad? Are you just supposed to assist with this? Like, do you team up with him? Or are you supposed to challenge him to make sure he gets as strong as he can possibly get? Like, what is Shanks' role in the story now? And I do think what we get in the next couple of chapters might help us detail that a little bit. I know we've been getting flashback Inception, but a flashback for Shanks feels like it might be apt too, even in the next couple chapters. But I don't know. I don't have real pushback. I kind of agree with almost everything you said. So
yeah. The other thing is, so if you think he stole the fruit, then he switch out the fruit with something else? Because Loki still ate a fruit, you know? Mm-hmm. So I guess what would be that fruit? I guess we'll see it, but...
Yeah. I can't explain that one portion. Mm-hmm. But why would Gabon know that there was a room behind the throne room?
Well, he lived here a while. He seemingly explores. So
the treasure chest is opened when the doors are closed and the guards are asking to be let out from Harald. Mm-hmm. Loki and them seemingly just break in after that, technically.
Yeah.
So my other question that I had for you was, so you put it out there that you thought that Shanks and Gabon put down Harald.
Yeah. I could speak on
and
it
then allowed for the world to, or at least the Elbaf people, to believe it was Loki that took him down. Because the way Gabon speaks and the way Shanks, well, not Shanks, but the way Loki looks at Shanks, to me it seems as though Loki did take Harald out, or needed to, and Gabon and Shanks got there after the fact, and Loki escaped like them. Mm-hmm. And like Gabon was like, yo, it's kind of murky what happened that day in general. And then when he felt the hockey again that he had felt on God Valley, it's like, all right, That's what I felt the day that Harald got taken out by Loki.
Exactly.
And it's weird. So it's like, did Gabon and Shanks take Harald out, or was it actually Loki and then they just didn't know what happened? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then it happens again with this. Mm-hmm. So Gabon's starting to think back. Well, like, Gabon was like, whatever with you and Loki, but like, yo, free him. Like, he was saying, don't free Loki. Yeah. Right? And then he felt the hockey and was like, yo, free that dude. Because that's what I remembered feeling the day that we were at God Valley and the day that, whatever. So, I don't know. To me,
I could explain it.
Still, yeah. Can you elaborate down on that part? Because that was the one thing I was like, I don't know if they took Harald out. I do think that's still Loki.
Yeah. All right. So, it's going to depend if you accept this or not. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just tell you straight up. It depends if you accept it or not. So, I do believe that this is Loki upscale.
Okay.
1,000%. Like, I really do believe that.
I'm with that.
Yeah. I don't believe anyone else in that castle could have taken on Harald except Loki, like Lawrence has stated.
I agree with that.
Okay. I do want to make this clear, though. This is an upscale for Loki, but not Loki beat Harald by himself. Okay? What I think happened is this. Once Shanks and Gabon realized what was going on, because in that little panel, they did feel something happening in the castle. Mm-hmm. Right? Based on what Ripley told them at Rayleigh's house, they basically ran straight to the castle, right? They are the ones who ultimately defeated Harald, like I mentioned earlier. So I can't give Loki the massive scaling boost some people are giving him, but holding off Harald for as long as he did, that does give Loki a respectable bump, especially when you consider Loki hasn't really fought anyone who would push him to grow his hockey, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe Rox trained him a bit, but even then, Loki was still a kid. So I can't give him full credit there either, especially to Rox. I can't give him full credit. But here's the important part. People said I was glazing Rox for saying he was physically weaker in Domi Reversi. No, he was weaker in Domi Reversi than in his base form. But I stand on that, and I feel the same way about Harald. If Domi Reversi is working the same way as Harald is becoming immortal and gaining all this strength, I think, Harald clashed with Rox in his youth using advanced Conqueror's hockey with no physical contact, and their clash blew out a 3-mile radius. That Harald only got stronger over the next 25 plus years, so you can imagine he's much stronger than he was before. But the Harald that Loki, Yarul, Shanks, and Gabon fought, that was not full power Harald. Mm-hmm. Horus Castle is damaged, but it's still standing. If Rox and Harald clash, that castle would have been probably blown apart. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There are no massive hockey shockwaves, no sky-splitting effects, nothing remotely close to Harald's clash with Rox. Granted, there could be a clash happening that we just don't see because we haven't gotten to that part yet. So nothing remotely close comes to Harald's clash with Rox. That tells me Harald, just like Rox and Domi Reversi, couldn't use his hockey properly. Harald even says he got stronger when he got the tap. But, like I've said before, Emu grants immortality and physical strength. There are zero indications Emu could grant hockey or enhance it. So they were fighting Harald with only the passive hockey leaking out of him. No named hockey attacks, no advanced forms of it. That's why Loki could hold him off, the same way Yamato held off Kaido. And that's why Shanks and Gabon could finish the job together just like Roger and Garp did against Rox, which would cause a parallel for him and Rox being in the same position. So basically I'm saying, how far does Loki's upscale go from this? Right now, I definitely say he's weaker than like current Luffy, but I do think he lands somewhere around Big Mom's level. That's where I'm placing him based on everything we saw. Mm. So I think that most likely Loki, he didn't get knocked out, but he was incapable of fighting. And he saw these two dudes who had the hockey levels take out Harald.
Well, Loki does call Shanks a coward. I'm trying to think how Haruden places, not Haru, Yaru places in all this.
And what about Gabon?
He forgot.
But
Yeah.
He lost his memory.
but also Gabon. But this wouldn't make Shanks a coward for taking out Harald.
Depends how he
Right.
did it, but
No, because Shanks shows to be the one that he questioned. Like he didn't want to take on Kid of all people because the condition he might be in after Wano. He was concerned. Did he fully recover yet?
mm-hmm.
Just off that shows that Shanks is an honorable person. So I think Loki's calling him a coward mostly as a grudge because he lost in a battle to him.
No, so to me, and I've said this on the pod before, I think the Loki calling him a coward thing is he didn't. Loki's whole thing is I want to be the one that changes the world, right? I want to be the one that destroys the world, whatever, in honor of rocks, etc., etc. If the Nika fruit is exactly what was in that treasure chest on Elbaf and Shanks took it, Loki seemingly knows this, and he knows that he didn't eat it. Like you had the opportunity to be Joy Boy, you had the opportunity to be these things, and you chose not to do it because your captain told you not to. Your captain told you weren't the one. Why didn't you seize that for yourself, regardless of what your captain said, regardless of what the prophecy said? That's always been my headcanon as to why Loki called Shanks a coward. He knows he took the Nika fruit and chose not to eat it out of fear, reverence, whatever. He did what Loki wouldn't have done in that, given the same situation. But that's my headcanon. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still with Loki killing Harald just because I think it works better. What's the word? Patricide, I think it's called. Like, I think that within the realm of this story, I think that works better. But I can't deny that it's very possible Shanks did it. Shanks and Gabon had to do it. And framing Loki that's where I'm like, would Shanks do all that? You know what I'm saying? Because he's allowed Loki to be in prison this whole time. He went to go get the boy afterward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are we allowing for what didn't happen like a narrative of that to be on Loki? Is it Shanks doing that? I don't know. I mean, maybe if he has a bigger mission to carry out, but I don't know that that's in line with Shanks' character to this point. But I could be very wrong. We don't know much about the guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as we do. So I don't know. I still like Loki taking Harald out personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Loki did it. Also, too, I want to mention though for the hockey thing. It has been shown that a lot of people hockey can be used unconsciously. So a lot of times it doesn't take the person's will to do it. Because, for example, we saw Luffy use out Conquerors when he was knocked out. We see even, I don't know with Viper when he was sleeping, it was observation, but you couldn't even sneak on him when he was sleeping, right? But also, too, we seen when even Enma would draw out Haki from Zoro throughout his will. So Haki can be used without the person's permission or like their conscious instinct, unconsciously.
But there's never been Bajran guns. There's never been focused attacks like Luffy was doing against Kaido in those forms. Like there has to be some type of control in order to amplify your Haki to that degree to cause that amount of damage.
To reach peak levels, you need control. Right?
Yeah.
Some level of...
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So, but for what I'm going as, like, for example, I don't know exactly what Imu's doing with the body, right? But he's seeming to gain control of everything. So with that in mind, I'm thinking he's able to access their body as well as their Haki as well, because even when them fighting against it, they can't do it. So he's able to gain control of practically everything except their conscious state. But that's only if you're, from what we've seen, only Conquerors are they're allowed to keep their conscious state to a certain level, Conquerors-wise. But everyone else, complete control. Right? So that tells me whatever contact you're doing, whatever Imu's doing, he's gaining you entirely, your body as well as the Haki inside it, because he's gaining access to everything. Even if you want to fight to get it, you can't.
But then that comes down to the variable of the differences in possession, and it also comes down to the variable of how do you use this body effectively because it's not your own. And even then, for me, that's questionable because you can't bring out somebody's full extent if you don't know how to use their body.
Do you think there's a learning curve for Imu per person, or if it's just like a autonomy thing? You know what I'm saying?
I just don't believe that you can control someone's will entirely. And that's been proven through Kuma.
rocks, Harold
You know what
right
I'm
now.
saying?
So
And so this is where it comes to with the conversation of Loki just defeating Harald. Essentially, you're saying if Loki could defeat Harald, Loki is at the same level or near the same level of combating rocks, clashing with rocks. And he's doing that without fighting anybody that was of a younger caliber, of a weaker caliber, or even to that degree, because there is nobody literally there at all. The only time Loki actually fights somebody that might have that type of caliber, and even then we don't probably think that Shanks was at that point, was Shanks. Because Shanks fought him 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's after this.
So I would agree with what you're saying. My pushback is that's assuming what happened to Harald and what's happening to Rock, what happened to Rocks and what's happening to Harald are one and the same.
Exactly.
If there's a lesser level of control over Harald than there was over Rocks, if there's a lesser ability to amplify him than there was over Rocks, then if Harald is just fighting back more effectively or something, like maybe he's like, yo, look, like I break out of it temporarily and like allow you to hit me kind of a thing. Like maybe he rips his own arm off or like, you know what I'm saying, to get rid of the Abyss Mark or the deep sea covenant. Like we don't know the parameters exactly. We just know that Rocks didn't even get to that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like if Harald is able to fight back enough to create an opening to allow himself to be hurt in a way that Rocks wasn't able to do, like because of the differences in technique or whatever's happening here. Like there's other variables here than, oh, he'd have to be that strong in order to do this thing that these other people couldn't do.
And I agree 100% with you, because if that is true, then that means just more so that Loki does get upscaled, but he's not upscaled to the fact that he can actually beat Harald.
Right.
Which makes it possible if he was to defeat him by himself.
I do want to add, for the statement, because I know we're basing off the statement, right? For example, that what Ray said, right? But from what I've seen with the One Piece, that's not the only way to grow your hockey. And the pace I'm going to use example is Odin again. Because would you guys not agree that Odin was shown to be too strong for Wano, right? Before Wano, right, there was no one that could match him. He was kind of he would take on, even Ashura, that one person, he took on Ashura and his army with ease. He was too strong for Wano.
I don't know if I would say with ease, but I agree with you.
If you go by him, he fought just Ashura, but because
there's a panel of him sitting on those bodies.
Yeah.
He struggled to do that.
This is him fighting an army by himself. Ashura's army by himself, right? And we go by the young age that Odin was while doing all this stuff, right? It showed that from a young age, what he was able to do, even that when he took out that giant hog or boar, whatever, at that young age, he was like, what, maybe 19 or so, whatever. The hockey was already showing, right?
Yeah.
So it shows right here, through these situations, he was just stronger than anything and everything else on Wano, but then when Wiper shows up, Whitebeard's just like,
I'm top dog.
He's like, what I'm saying is that Whitebeard said, this is trouble. Like, this is dangerous. Showing caution from the animal that was coming at him in Odin, right? And then is able to clash with Whitebeard. But it wasn't like Odin grew to this level of where he was able to fight Whitebeard. It showed that, for example, what I'm getting at, Odin showed there's some people that are like, we talk about like freaking natures, like Big Mom was one, Kaido was another one. And it's also shown that there could be freaking natures with hockey as well, where like you just have a natural ability to using it. I'm not saying that Loki's that. I'm saying we have examples of it in Odin, because who was teaching him hockey? Who was he fighting to grow his hockey if he was just naturally stronger than everybody else?
Yeah.
Right? Like on Wano. But we saw them when Whitebeard showed up, he was able to fight Whitebeard. You know? Right. So it's like these examples are here, like you have some special, because I think even Ray alluded to Luffy's natural ability with hockey once Luffy actually started learning it and using it. So you have a natural way with this. So some people do it out more with like Odin, who's able to like, because I always say before, when he first used that hockey against that giant boar, he used an excessive amount of hockey that was not needed.
Yeah.
You know, like you didn't need to do all that to just, because he cut through the hockey.
So you're saying Loki is one of those people?
He could be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He could be one of those people that could like use hockey to this level, even though without fighting through like trial to grow it that way.
So my counter argument is you're completely right. There are people like that in the world, but that also helps my argument as to why Loki couldn't have defeated Harald. And here's why. With the Odin situation, as much as he was a monster, because he was so ignorant in the use of hockey, he got blown away by people like Roger using a move that sent him flying across the island, where Whitebeard had more in his bag but decided to use only his devil fruit against him in order to push him away, right? Odin could compete to a certain level, but then there was levels he just couldn't fit into without years of training afterwards.
Right.
So if Loki, who isn't fighting basically anyone on the island, because nobody can fight him or just nobody's as strong as him, because to you, the Giants just aren't that strong.
No, I agree.
So there's really no way for him to learn, and also no way for him to bloom his hockey. So whatever level he's at,
Like there's a cap to that.
there's clearly a cap, and he clearly can't push forward. And unfortunately, when you're versing somebody like Harald, who's base hockey and whose hockey alone can compete with Rocks,
A young Rock.
a young,
Actually, no, they fought again.
yeah, it's just, it seems very unlikely that Loki would, I'm gonna be honest with you, could kind of do anything to Harald, because one, Harald is the same giant he is, and two, Harald's more proficient in just fighting overall. So I can't picture somebody like Loki taking out Harald in that position, especially when he's physically stronger than Loki and he has immortality now at use.
Do you think Ragnar plays a factor in this then?
He doesn't have it yet.
But right, but like maybe it's in the castle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you know what I mean? Something got to go. Like Harold doesn't make it out of this.
But this is why I say, like, for me, what makes sense is that Rayleigh and Gabon come through, because
Shanks.
Gabon, I keep messing up. Okay, Shanks and Gabon come through because, one, Shanks has the Conqueror's hockey that we know of, right?
He at the minimum can tap into that.
He got minimum, or he can grow the same way Roger did. And Gabon has proven that he already knows how to defeat these holy knights through the use of Sommer's fight.
And he didn't see Rocks lose.
Yes.
You know what
he
I'm
didn't,
saying?
yeah, he didn't see rocks. So it just screams to me that, like, these two dudes came through. Loki is fighting for his damn life. We saw what happened with Yarul. He has a sword through the head. So I think he's out for the count. So Loki's fighting Harald by himself the same way Yamato was fighting Kaido. These two come through. They try to help him out. Loki basically gets kicked in his chest like Sebastian did with Jonas. And these two try to fight Harald. Now, granted, I think Sebastian may be right, because the variable is this is not Domi Reversi. This is actually a Depth's Covenant. Yeah. So it might react differently, where like Harald might have his consciousness, and he gives them the opportunity to defeat him.
Maybe.
I just feel like that's the way it works.
I just don't like Shanks letting Loki take the fall like this.
I don't think he
That's
does.
so crazy.
I don't think he does.
I mean, it falls on
That's what
Gabon
happens.
too.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like we Roger
but
Barnes, we
put
just
it this way.
for
But put it this way.
Years.
Loki was he strongly loves Harald. Like, he does love Harald. Like, he thinks Harald is not a bad guy to the degree, like, some people think. He does respect him. I think he didn't want to tarnish Harald's legacy, and he also didn't want others to save Elbaf. So he kept quiet about it and took the punishment.
But he can't control unless he makes a deal with Shanks to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? And Gabon to be quiet. He can't control their narrative that they spin. They allow for him to be in prison. And Gabon was very much, don't free that dude.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
No, but also, too, remember the reason, whatever Loki was doing for those, was it 13 or whatever years of
14?
wilding out after Harald's death, that cost him, all right, I'm going to put a
years,
stop to you because you wilding out for whatever reason, you know?
Because after this, he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves.
And then he's gone for 6 years. Yeah. So he might have just been very destructive over the loss of his father.
Very possible. He if anybody gonna crash out, it's gonna be Loki. He the crash out king right now.
But I also want to add, I do 100% believe that Ray and Gabon know critical mass hockey. I believe Roger told them about it. Because especially you're gonna have questions, what happened, that situation with that. I don't see how Roger doesn't tell
maybe Rayleigh,
and Gabon about
maybe Gibbon. I don't know. The only way
I'm gonna be real with you, Law.
I don't know,
As
bro.
much as I want to believe what you're saying, even if they do know it, how do I say this? In the world of One Piece, so this is how I beat that guy. That doesn't happen. Like, ever. And I know we follow Luffy, but, like, they never talk about how they overcame nothing.
No. Well,
Anybody. They just don't do it.
Yeah, but one thing is, right? Gabon and Ray showed up
I know.
and saw
I know.
Garp and Roger laid out.
I know.
Yo, and then they saw whatever, and they saw whatever.
I know.
They could. All you have to do all you have to ask is what happened, and then Roger will tell them
All right.
what happened.
You gotta think about. You gotta think about it. What was happening right after that? They back on the ship. Roger's passed out. Ray with his girl. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thinking about you being passed out with rocks right now, bro. Nobody think about that.
All right, so maybe I could settle this with like this one point.
Mm-hmm.
Roger, White Bear clash. Odin just got basically one shot. He didn't really get one shot, but like he got one shot, right? Sent across the island. He sees these two monsters clash, and his first question to himself is, why are they not touching?
Mm-hmm.
Odin joins the ship of Roger and crew later, and we see Odin and Gabon fighting each other, and they're clashing
anime,
swords.
but
Yeah, I think that there's a little black silhouette in the manga. Am I wrong?
I don't remember that.
But
show me if I don't
either
remember.
way, I think your point is Odin unlocks the ability to attack without touching later, right?
Well,
Or no?
we never see it.
Isn't that what he did to Kaido?
When he cut him?
Yeah.
No. He just cut
To
Kaido.
permanently cut Kaido, did he not access advanced Kakusaki to do that?
No. It was never stated. It didn't. He actually cut him. But what I'm trying to say is, we never saw Odin get to the point where he didn't have to touch blades,
Okay.
and we never saw critical mass hockey, Supreme King hockey, which I think probably would have took out Kaido at that point. If I'm being honest, like it probably would have took out Kaido, but we never saw that. So he was on Roger's ship for what, like 5 years?
No, he was on Whitebeard's ship for 5 years. He was on Roger's ship for like a year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A year.
So it's like you're on two dude ships that after you saw this and you didn't bother to ask. So it's like if Roger's out here just telling people how to do this, then like he would have told Odin, because Odin has actual interest.
The funniest piece of this is the one person I've ever seen offer to teach somebody how to use their hockey differently was actually Odin to the Scabbards. So it stands to reason that if he's willing to offer that up, he'd be willing to ask for the assistance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, yeah.
When did Odin tell?
They said we have our own fighting styles, like we have our own way of fighting. But Odin, when he was during the 5 years or whatever, he was with the Scabbards. They were asking something, and he was like, "I'll teach y'all if y'all want." And they were like, "Nah." They all said nah. Which,
But it does show that Somers fought Gabon at one point.
yeah,
Like when Gabon faced him again, he was like, "Oh, seeing you again," and stuff like that. And
yeah. I do think the Holy Knight. I think that's the other element that maybe the Gods Knights take out Harald, but that's a whole.
But also, even with that, right? Gabon says they're not immortal, and kind of like alluded to a way he knows how to take him out.
Yeah.
If the way to take him out is critical mass hockey,
he would need to know
he
it,
would need to know it because he says
or at
they're
least
not immortal.
see it in action.
Or he can't really do it,
Oh shoot!
and he does something that's
Comparable.
that's close enough.
Well, I mean, technically,
We're gonna get it.
it doesn't need to be Gabon. He can just see it, but who's doing it? If
Yeah.
that's the case, he'd be the most likely to do it. But
Oh, also, I wanted to. So, when it comes to Harald and Emu, there was a part of the conversation I really wanted to ask you guys about. When Emu says they want Harald to build a giant fleet to rival the navy, what did that mean to you? Because for me, it's ambiguous. It could mean Emu wants Harald to build a fleet strong enough to challenge or oppose the navy, or it could simply mean a fleet that's equal in power to the navy.
I took it as
how did
equal
you
in-
guys interpret that line?
I took it as equal in power. But
Okay.
there was conversation about saying, like, yo, does Emu already not have full faith in the Navy? That he would have to establish a military force capable of toppling them if need be.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like addition here over like over subtraction. But both things can be true.
Yeah.
Because like, yo, if I have this in my pocket, I still got it. Casey, I act up. I got backups.
Yeah.
And I don't got to tap into my actual like people that I want to use. So I thought I looked at it as addition, but with Emu just kind of playing 3D chess in general.
Got you.
Yeah. Same, because I'm mad I forgot about that part because I thought it was very interesting, right? Because when I was reading it says to rival the Navy, so I thought it was the same thing. Because you already know that the Navy is one part of an organization. They consider the world government and Navy two separate, right? And they kind of have half control of the world, even though they rule the world. But it's like they're always fighting against pirates. But if you have another organization that rivals the Navy, right? 3, you can kind of like do things where like, all right, for the whole worry now, like you legit had just Harald secretly just taking out pirate ships, you know? So now you could kind of monopolize the world where like everything's underneath your control, right? But also too, again, we already see that the Navy and the world government do be at odds sometimes.
They host different flags, and again, the strongest dude in y'all history was swinging on me a couple years back. And he the most influential, impactful dude that y'all got. So I can't trust y'all too much over here.
And I think ideally what Emu wants, right? Because guess what? The ruler of the Giants would be Harald. He's under my control because he's my slave now.
Yeah.
The Marines don't have someone like that Emu could just be like, who's the head of the Marines, like under my Down University or under my needle. So it's like
Unless Kong.
Yeah, that would be it.
Hey man.
Unless Kong.
I'll say this. They lost 2 potential Holy Knights in this.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else out here, but
I feel like Kong would probably,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
he's the supreme commander of the
Right.
Navy, and then there's the fleet admiral. So I can see there's a possibility,
If
but
Khan
you're right.
shows up later on, he has like the
just
Knights
tied it up.
I'm like, oh.
Yo, think about it. Every time we see him, his muscles are bulging, bro.
he be like this.
He might have a covenant for real.
I mean,
That's what Emu probably should have been. The one who was in the Marines just like, yo, Gurusei or Knights, test him out to see if he can become to rule over. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Unless, but the thing is, like, obviously the Marines don't know about Emu. But what if he wants to keep that separate? But now you have the Knights, they're ring, but now you have an organization with the Giants who know, well, at least the King knows of you. Because I think he kind of wants to keep the Marines not knowing who Emu is.
I mean,
For reasons.
fleet admiral and under,
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
because
Yeah, I mean,
Because you could do the same. All right, the fleet admiral or Kong's mission knows of Emu, while the rest doesn't.
put it this way: if Kong is supposed to have a higher position than Akainu,
Yeah.
right? Akainu has been in the Gorosei chamber of power plenty of times. What's Kong going to?
Yeah.
I guess.
And I feel like Kong is more loyal than Sengoku and Akainu was.
I was gonna bring Sengoku
Yeah.
up based on what he said. What was it last chapter, 2 chapters ago? With his conversation with Garb. If they bring Sengoku through and they like, yo, this is the deal. What's up? You about to sign the contract? What do you think he done? Because he was like, yo, I'm gonna get promoted. I can make change. Does he think he can make change with a contract? Does he say yeah to that?
I honestly, I think he's gonna.
Are
think
you
of
allowed
Garp.
to say no to that?
I think.
That's
I think he's gonna think of Garp.
That's the thing.
I think he's gonna think of Garp. Like in that situation, like what he's have to deal with Garp.
We just don't know what it takes to get
You gotta
Kong's
show
position.
you gotta show true loyalty. Well, Khan's position we don't know, but to get these marks, you gotta show true devotion and like Harald did multiple years of this.
Yeah, that's like Khan should have been there. Not say should have, because that just sounds crazy because the situation we're talking about. But Khan was their dude because anyway, Sengoku didn't show up.
You also gotta be that guy.
To
Though.
Valley. Huh?
You also gotta be that guy. Like Harald it's a value add,
Yeah.
not just an elbow off, but like yo, he's like that. I'm not saying Khan ain't. I'm just saying like I don't know that he is right. Like I don't know.
I just like the idea of. So, it's on and off for me. That's the reason why I asked. Because I can see more is better, but I could also see more turning against me is worse.
You can't keep putting dudes in positions to like fail you.
Yeah,
Cause he already mad. Even already mad that Harald don't get the job done
exactly.
with Elbaf. And like Shanks already switching up. Like I tried 2 Holy Knights in the span of a year, a couple days here, and they both was like, "Nah, we're good on this."
Yo,
so maybe we don't just hand this
One
out.
guy put in his 1 week notice.
Right? Like
So remember how Emu just took away Saturn's like life in a way?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because they've been alive for so long? Because I'm thinking you could just do the same to Harold, but it would make sense. All right, the time you should have passed, you long lived through that because you've been with Emu for freaking like 800 years or so. Right?
Yeah.
So now you removing the contract. This means ending your life. So I'm guessing did he do the same thing with Harold? Maybe it was that took out Harold, or maybe you think he couldn't do that yet because Harold still has life in him, so to speak.
I think that's a good variable to think about. But my head goes, the deeper the bond, the stronger.
The stronger you are, or the stronger the abilities you get access to.
Yeah. The more you got of Emu. So it could be that. Like I'm not gonna say it can't be, but it could be that. Also, you guys didn't say anything about this, but it happened early in a chapter. I also wanted to point out 3 things Emu said. One of which I already mentioned was the idea of building a fleet to rival the Navy. But the second thing is really interesting. I think this might be the first time in the entire series that Emu referred to themselves as I instead of Mu. He told Harold, I have been watching the Harold the entire time. That's a huge shift. It almost confirms that for the first time ever, Emu is acknowledging themselves as an individual person. If I'm wrong, let me know, but to me, that stood out immediately. And the third thing is the line, history is not so light that it could be shouldered by thee alone. I feel like that line includes Emu themselves. Think about it. Emu helped form the ancient alliance against Joy Boy. After winning, they created the Gorosei and the Holy Knights. Even for Emu, history is too big for to bear alone. It's really cool to finally get insight into Emu's mindset as the story progresses. It even made me start imagining what an Emu flashback would look like and how insane that could be.
Listen, will Emu be a sympathetic character in the end?
I doubt it.
Probably not. But it's Oda, bruh.
Yeah.
It's all possible, bro. You can make anything happen. But that is, I didn't notice that, the eye thing.
Yeah.
The only time I noticed it, but I didn't think deeply like you did, is when after that he says, "Think like you will, I will have my way." Like kind of, you could think what you want. Emu was gonna have it. I'm gonna have my way, but he says I again, and then my way. I looked at it. I was like, he usually doesn't word things that way, but that's what I thought about.
Yeah, he didn't. Usually they usually talk in third person all the time, but for the first time, I think this is the first time they're like, he's a little rattled. But yeah, that's kind of like all the thoughts I had, regardless of what happened in the flashback. Shout out to Ada. Shout out to Harold. And I can't wait for the next 2 weeks. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm hyped for it. We do got a bunch of super chats. Thank you guys for patiently waiting for us to respond to them. We're going to do that now. Like the stream. I know I asked you guys to do it, but hit that like button if you haven't already. And yeah, let's get into it. We got 5 from Ace 1995. It says, what's good, y'all? Never get to catch a live because of the Monday pool tournament. Keep up the great content. Hashtag Law D Horse Hitter. Hashtag Larry Chuckin' Pasta, because why not? Pool tournament. That sounds pretty cool. Another 5 from Villain Juice. Nika's can't watch live. Got a question. Who was a bigger sellout, Vegapunk or Harold? Both got betrayed. Hashtag I hate Harold. Hashtag never paying taxes. Hashtag Marv of Oz. It's tough for me to say because Vegapunk made like fail safes and things, but he had more knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He had much more in-depth understanding of what he was working with and still willing to work with it. Harold was kind of blindsided, although he shouldn't have been, but like he was.
I think Harold just didn't fight back.
Yeah.
Vegapunk at least tried to fight back how he could.
Something, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. Another 5 from Nico L. How strong will the monster trio be post Elbaf? I think Luffy will be close to Shanks, and they might clash at the end of the arc. Zoro may be Admiral level. Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Close to that, yeah. Sanji, I don't know.
I don't know about Luffy being Shanks level yet.
He said close to Shanks, but yeah.
I don't know about that. But I already believe that Zoro's already close at Admiral level. So.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I said this way back in Me and Lana got into an argument. One of the DDTs that me and Lana are on. We got into an argument about it. But,
Yeah, I gotta disagree.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he could fight an admiral. Beat one though?
anyway, we got another 37
No,
months.
what are you gonna say, Seb?
You know how I'm Admiral Gang, bro. Zoro ain't beating none of
okay,
them.
okay.
Zoro ain't beating none of them right now, dog. Not a single one. That boy out here going huff diff with Lucci, man. Stop it. Let me stop. Another
You gotta
37.
stop downplaying Lucci, bro.
Listen, we talking admirals.
healthy,
we talking
bro.
admirals. Okay?
I hear you.
Admirals.
one shot gang.
Listen, how many shots is Zoro taking?
It's 2 shots.
How many?
From-
Talk to me. From Whitebeard. How many? Yeah.
I think he
No,
could
but
take
I think
a
the same
couple.
amount he took from Kaido.
Yeah, I think he could take a couple.
Stop it.
I mean, he blocked Ikaku
Yeah.
sovereignty, bro.
I said take. As in, I get hit clean while I'm not paying attention. How many of those Zoro taking from Whitebeard?
A lot.
Zoro took.
A lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if
Not-
anything, Zoro's one of the most durable people in the show.
Thank you.
Y'all gonna
Because
make me
guess
cry,
what?
though.
He took a point blank,
Y'all gonna make me
undefended
cry,
verbal
though.
attack from Kaido.
Y'all gonna make me crash out.
After he took, after he blocked Yako Sandi, after all those bones broken on his body. So in that state, he got smacked by Kaido. While Kaido was using Conqueror's Leakage in the attack.
And what state was Zoro in after that?
He fell to the ground.
No, he couldn't move after that. They had to put him in a cast. They had to then inject him with something to get him to fight again.
So,
Kaido swung back after he got hit from Whitebeard.
you do know that Ikaku sovereignty is stronger than Whitebeard's attack that Akainu received, right?
Yeah.
One. Zoro didn't even get hit with Ikoku sovereignty. He blocked it, and then the ricochet from all of that was messing him up. Then he got hit later with
It's
the
not the
attack you're talking
ricochet.
about.
So what would have happened to Akainu if he had that for 1 second?
He performed better than Zoro did.
Would he?
Yes.
What's proof of that?
Oh my god.
When they legit said that.
Akainu playing foot to Whitebeard quakes casually.
Yeah,
So that's durability now?
that Sebastian, we don't even know what kind of hockey that was infused with, because it clearly wasn't Conquerors.
Because also, too, if Zoro's blocking Yako Sandi, he's not blocking that attack that Kaido just blocked with from Whitebeard? Zoro's not going to block that?
Zoro not like that.
No. So you're saying that Kaido's foot
Yeah.
could have blocked Whitebeard's quake, and Zoro's blocking Kakasami. Zoro can't do what
I
Kaido
told you I was Admiral Gang 2 minutes ago. Did I not do that?
did. So you're saying
I'm caping.
You're biased.
Yeah.
No factual, just biased because you believe the admirals are just.
Zoro can't box at this level for real, man. Stop it. Anyway.
I think you're bugging a little bit. Just a
Maybe,
little bit.
maybe. But don't tell me Zoro Admiral level, man. Stop that. Anyway.
I don't believe so either, but
He not. Man.
I think that there's clearly an endurance level that Zoro has over Akainu.
No, he doesn't. Akainu can fight for 10 days at a time if need be. Zoro can't do that.
We talking
Am I-
stamina.
Yeah, we're talking.
Sam was a part of
And
endurance
also,
too.
that stamina's from their Lagi ability.
It doesn't matter. He can still do it. Zoro can't. Zoro is a regular human
But
being.
hold on. You're adding something else into the conversation, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about just
No.
taking the attacks that
I
was
know,
taken.
and I said
if you replace Zoro
if you
Zoro
were-
receives that quake
to the
hit,
if he
yeah,
get, if
what
Zoro,
do you think is happening to Zoro?
I think Zoro's knocked out. If Zoro gets quaked in the face the way Akainu got quaked by Whitebeard, I think he's done. I think he's out.
So I mention question: with that attack that Zoro took, the one I just mentioned, after he blocked
Ikaku
Kakusamadi for the little bit, and then it wasn't a ricochet because the attack
The
was.
one where he hit him in law?
Huh? Yeah. Right. Do you believe Zoro was unconscious after that attack?
No.
Okay then.
Why'd you lean in like that?
Because I was waiting for his answer.
You can hear it. We got headphones.
It was
just made a
the sell.
jerk.
It was the sell because he's trying to say. So notice the weakened position that Zoro was in then, right? With that one to take a quake attack is not stronger than what Zoro was dealing with then. But he didn't get knocked out then. But you believe one quake attack is knocking Zoro out. How does that make sense?
Hold on. Let me ask you another question. So when Kuma pushed in Luffy's pain into Zoro, how do you think Akainu would have handled that situation? Would he have been standing on his feet the same way Zoro was?
He would have been like, ow.
Are you serious?
1,000%. 1,000. What are we talking about?
Okay. Listen,
The fatigue and pain that pre-time
what's
skip
crazy?
year 2 Luffy
Know what's
was
crazy?
dealing with?
Know what's crazy?
Akainu's fine.
Who was the named attack guy? Who was that? Sebastian?
That's me.
That was you, right?
That's me.
Name one named attack, Whitebeard did with his Quake ability to Akainu.
That's not fair because he was using named attacks, but not naming them.
It's fine.
That's
Was
not
he?
fair.
It's fine.
Yeah, he was. He used like 5.
The Gura is like that.
Oh,
All right.
so
the same Gura that couldn't
Oh,
break down the Marineford wall.
no, it's crazy. The girl's like that. So the same girl that Law blocked, one of those or two of those
No, the
knocked
same
out Akainu.
the same Gura that Blackbeard took pre-time skip to the face.
No, Sebastian. No, Sebastian's telling me.
He said, "Daddy, no."
No, it's telling me. Law could block. So Law's blocking ability is stronger than Akainu's taking ability.
No.
Because Akainu took 2 of those and was done. Law blocked that and then continued fighting with Blackbeard.
Akainu got snuck. It's different.
Oh, he got snuck.
It is. Okay. It's different. It's different. All right. We got another 37 months at Nakama Stats from Prince. It says, I'm right. I live in Maine. Y'all talking about snow. Yeah. Sorry for y'all. Another 2 months. Nakama from Red Hair Gator. What are y'all expectations for the rest of Elbow? Heat, bro.
Yeah,
It's
heat.
going to be fire.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Another 5 from No ID's GOAT. Happy Mondays, boys. Just stop by to like the video and pay my monthly Larry tax. # Larry apologized to Sebi. He kind of did already, I guess. Another 2 from Cobalt King. We don't claim Drake. What? Another 5 from Joshua Morris. Caught 2 lives back to back. Even saying it, I think y'all still don't understand how much happiness it provides y'all doing this and bring
thank you,
yourselves.
man.
Thank you,
I'm glad
man.
it does.
Yeah. Another 5 from Nerdtaku, our boy. Oda really good at making me hate Harold the more every chapter goes. Even though me and Larry White, we both think he's Samuel L. in Django. # Larry just like me, for real. Yo, Taku, I love you, bro.
He said this Samuel from.
Who is that? No, let me stop. Anyway, another 5 from Ace D Masters. Always a blast listening to you guys crash out and share insights on this beautiful journey. # Nakama for life. # long live the Larry Tax merch. Yo, where my merch at, bro? What's up?
I spoke to the lady already.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
See, the fact that Larry said the lady, that's how you know he black, bro. Anyway, another 10 from Ace D Masters. With the new God's Knights power system, added depth to Conqueror's hockey, and its relevance to dealing with new enemies, what are your thoughts on potential Conqueror's hockey retcons, if any? Oh, they coming, bro. Trust and believe they're coming.
Trust me, daddy.
They're coming, bro. Another 5 from Wise Life Gaming. Roger, Shanks, Rayleigh, Gabon, all in their prime versus top 4 Rocks Pirates at God Valley. Who y'all got and why? # FBomb Larry. # Davey D. Sebi. # got the mukbang ready law. Definitely Roger, Shanks, Rayleigh, and Gabon all in their prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Unless Rocks could take them all on.
It's not happening. I'll be real with you. Is he down reversed?
He still wouldn't even do it.
Is he down reversed? Another Warlord joined the ship in Post-Skull Bandit. Welcome. Another 20 from Chris Hewitt. Would you want God Valley shown in episodes or a One Piece movie next?
Movie.
Movie. Please.
Movie, yeah.
Movie me. Another 10 from Demetrius Anderson. In episode 1151, One Piece anime, when Bonnie, Sanji, and Frankie hit Luffy, sending Mars flying, Luffy said the punches hurt. You guys are using hockey. Does that mean Frankie has hockey? # Larry Tax. # Larry call your mom. Why not?
I guess.
Why not, bro?
I could give him basic.
Give
Iron
Frankie
Man.
some hockey, man. We want to shot by
Yeah, unconsciously using hockey like
Yeah.
Goofy did. It's gonna sound bad. Pre-time skip against Blackbeard, but hey,
Yeah, man, let's get it.
about time.
Another 5 from Flo Statit. What other utilizations of hockey do you think are yet to be revealed? Name some ways you would want to see it used.
I want to see manipulating the elements more. In all honesty,
I would like that. I've always liked the ability for people to teleport. I don't know how hockey would do that, but like,
also hockey blast like Key from Dragon Ball Z stuff.
The way that Saturn used it against Sanji. I want to see that used more often. Because that's clearly Conquerors.
yeah, I like that. Another 10 from Benji 2 times. Been watching y'all for a year now and always loved y'all's content and conversations. Ida dying with a smile on her face, and she passed knowing Larry forgave her. W.
Yo, she a D-Clan member, bro.
Yeah, it's so funny. Another 5 from Diamond Life. Haven't super chatted in a minute. What are y'all's goals for the pod for 2026? Also excited for the top 30 stream coming up, especially with all the crash outs.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. I have my own goals, DDT specific, to try to make sure that it's consistent throughout the year. But I'm already working on how to make that reality. So, another 2 from Rox D Kibosh. I definitely said that wrong. We get that Seb apology from Larry yet. Hashtag Larry tags. Y'all so petty. Another 5 from Vince Smoke Chinyo. What's up, Nakama? Love what you guys do. Keep up the great work. R.I.P. Ida. Gone too soon. Yeah, man. Another 20 from Wade the Asian. It says, I haven't been alive for a minute. Hope y'all boys have been good in y'all personal lives. Had the opportunity to go to a Bengals game versus the Patriots a couple of weeks ago with 6 friends, which was a blast. Just better than these chapters.
I'd like to go to a Bengals game.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, Larry's actually a Bengals fan. He doesn't really root or practice his fandom much these days, but he was a huge Bengals fan when we were younger. So
I don't like abusive relationships.
We got another 22 months of Yako status from El Directo. It says, what if to make a Black Blade, it requires to take all of the will of a conqueror? Mihawk was known as the Marine Hunter, a very aggressive title, and now he's just chilling because he lost his conquerors. We get this super chat every so often. Yeah. I'm not a huge proponent of, like, you have to put all your conquerors hockey into a thing, into it to make it a Black Blade. I know it's a viable theory. I just don't subscribe to it personally. But I don't have any real proof as to why it wouldn't be the case. So I just don't like it personally.
Yeah, same.
Because then it's like, for Zoro to do it, he'd have to, like, he has 3 blades. Can you do it 3 times? How did that work? Right. And if it's not the case, then you can only do it to 1 blade. So then Zoro can, like, one of his blades is definitively stronger than the others. I guess Wado Ichimonji can be that, but, like, I don't know. It feels weird to me.
And also, too, you think about it, right? So you can't use your hockey, but black blades, just because the blade is black, doesn't make you able to affect, Logias or cut people. Because
technically, he just said Conqueror's hockey. He didn't say hockey. But, yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess.
I don't know. Y'all discuss in the chat. Another 5 from Jedrude. Dragon could take a sliding lesson from, well, everybody. At least Garp slid for Kobe. Hey, man. You know how we be feeling about sliding. Another 5 from Way the Agent. Go Bengals. Hashtag Derek White. Hashtag Unk Energy Seb. Hashtag Law Punches Animals. Hashtag he was always on the ship. Not too funny.
I don't always watch that. That's crazy.
Another 2 from Clayway. What would happen if Luffy ate a Rumble Ball? Hashtag Larry. We got this a while ago, too. I don't remember what our answers were.
He started dworking.
Dworking is crazy, bruh. He'd crash out. He'd be like what's his name from Wild Thornberries? The little brother? That's what he would be like. I don't remember his name.
What's his name, like Bonnie?
Mikey? I don't remember what his name was.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember.
Not that
Donnie.
Donnie, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Another 4 months at Yonko status from Smith04. Welcome. Another 2 from Big Taxon. Peep Scopper in Ripley's hands when Harald left Ida's. Oh, I didn't peep that. I didn't peep that at all. When Harald left Ida's, she says Scopper's in Ripley's hand. Yeah, he's in there. She's holding him. It is Scopper. He's got the hat on. Wow, I didn't peep that. Thank you. We got another 5 from Andrew C. Do y'all think that Emu wanted Harald to bud an army to combat the Navy just because Emu feared Garp would turn the Navy against him? Larry brought this out towards the end of the chapter. We kind of spoke to that a little bit earlier, Andrew C. But I'd say it was like a failsafe or like a backup plan in case the Navy ever spun on him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also got another 5 gifted memberships from Andrew C. Throw the Nakama fist up. Thank you. Another 14 months at Nakama status from creator Keon. I'm not liking more Harald with each chapter. I mean, maybe he'll redeem himself. We'll see. It's tough, though. Another 10 from Press It Up. YouTube says I'm in the top 7%, 0.7% of viewers for TOPT. You guys have helped me understand One Piece a lot better. Couldn't wait for this week because Larry was tripping on Seb last week over the contract stuff. LOL. Press, thank you. And top 0.7, like that's awesome, bro. What is this? It's 0.7. Yeah, that's
You're the
top
top
percent,
of,
bro.
top,
Top
of
of
the
the top.
Top of the top.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Now there are 5 from the Real Prox Gaming. With further confirmation that the mark is on the left arm, do you think that cutting it off was Gabon's plan to kill the Holy Knights? Hashtag Larry Tax. Yo, maybe, but then he should have been targeting that for when he swung on Gabon. I mean, not Gabon, Sommers.
Yeah.
That would have been a thing, right? No?
But
Also,
I feel like it'll still grow back.
if it's that simple,
Yeah, word.
you can't be like, yo, mind how you use your hockey. Yo,
Yeah, 5 minutes.
target the arm.
Gunku's whole torso was missing, right? So the arm would be gone, and it still grew back.
Yeah.
Another 280 from Purple Popcorn. Larry, why were you shirtless on the pod? Hashtag slow grower. Wow. It's a wild super chat, bro.
Freaky, baby.
You gotta edit those.
Let me take you up and
Another
down.
2 from Jada Rude. We didn't see Mother Caramel once in the flashback. Yeah.
No?
No, we didn't. And we had some conversations about her, so.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Miracle Di Mayo. Remember when Larry said Harald got immortality off the first contract? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm
Another
does remember.
5 from Jada Rude. Loki's flashback is proof that time dilation on Elbaf is real, because 3 minutes was a lie. Another 6 months at Knockable Status from him, Roscoe. Hashtag Booger Chucker, hashtag Hockey Chucker, hashtag Hybrid Tax. Another 2 from Robert's Turkey. Would you rather a kick from Sanji or Guroki? Who's Guroki? Who that is?
Raiko?
No, I'm gonna take
Is that Guraiko? Yo,
Or-
is that Guraiko? If it's Guraiko, give me. Ah, man.
I'm taking it from Sanji. Cause he ain't never put nobody down with one kick.
Guraiko would be crazy, bro.
Straight up.
Another 5 from Ragnar. It says, in 1152, Loki speaks on discipline and the lax attitude of the next generation. With Harald mostly away, who trained him and who instilled this mindset?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
I mean, it could be self-taught, just trying to emulate the past legends and rocks in general. I don't know. Another 2 from Creator Keon. Chef Larry is cooking tonight. Hashtag Larry Tax. Hashtag Shanks Yay. Okay. Another 5 from Easton. Fantastic podcast, and y'all are funny. I've been enjoying. Now that Saturn is dead, does Tarina Devon still have his Del Fruit, or does she have Emu's power? I think she just gets the visual. I don't think she gets the powers.
No, she gets both.
She gets the powers, too?
Yeah, Absalom has passed away.
But she doesn't turn invisible. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, she... No,
did she turn invisible? Did she do that?
no. Shiryu has the invisibility.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying if she gets Saturn's power, what would she be gaining?
Because remember she touched Saturn?
Well, the variable is she probably wouldn't get Emu's power, therefore she probably get whatever power before Emu.
I don't think she gets the power. She just gets the visual of them. No? Am I tripping?
If Emu's power is not Saturn's power, then yes.
Maybe. I don't know. I got to look into her Devil Fruit abilities more. Because that's kind of broken.
Yeah.
Another 5 from Joey Danks. What if Eris was a fishman? And she gains legs at the age of 30, like Kokoro mentioned way back, making all Davies part fishmen, part of the sea.
She got that murdussy.
Okay. Number 5 from Young Louis Gets Money. I'd like that, actually, by the way.
What, murdussy?
Okay. Young Lewis gets money. Imagine Loki has a really stupid fruit and that he's 100% convinced is a true threat, and mid-tension filled Holy Knight scuffle goes to reveal and it's a dud. That would be really funny. I would hate it though. Another 9 months at Knockable Status from Josie Umbra. Way I see it, Dami University is like Kid Buu versus Buhan debate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, JD Rue with the 2. Nobody gets a 1v1 and OP Harold got jumped.
Did I miss that?
Yeah,
My fault.
but it's okay.
All right, yeah. Another 14 Canadian from Mr. Friday. Been a while since I caught a live. I got my girl into One Piece anime, and we're currently in Annie's lobby. Life is good, y'all. Just want to say big ups. That's
Hey,
amazing
man.
for you, man.
Big ups, bro.
That's dope. Another 10 from Critter Keon. I think Loki froze before the finishing blow, and Shanks sneaked Harald, drawing Loki's resentment towards him. And due to size difference, Loki was wrongfully accused of killing his daddy. Hashtag free Loki. That would be tragic.
I don't like that.
Another 5 from Jacoby's story. What were y'all thinking that Loki even put up? Why are y'all thinking that Loki even put up a real fight? What if he was a punching bag for the others? Somebody got to take Harald out, man. Another 5 from Black Shepherd. Luffy had problems finding an admiral that wasn't using his awakening, but you want me to believe Zoro could beat one. Another Nakama joined the ship, and Reggie, welcome. But yeah, that's all the super chat. So thank you. Right on time.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for a fantastic episode. Thank you to Mar for producing another one. Guys, episode 233 is officially in the books. Next week is One Piece Break Week. We will be talking about other animes. If you wish to talk about other animes, we will be watching the One Piece episode with Bonnie, turning into Gear 5, and hearing Joy Boy for the first time. And we'll be doing super chats. And if we have enough time, we'll actually take Discord phone calls. So it really depends on what happens next week and the flow of it. But if you haven't liked the video already, please like the video for us to support us. Everybody that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, thank you so much for listening. If you can, leave a comment in the comment section, because you could do that now on Spotify. But also, give us 5 stars if you haven't already. And yeah, Lionel will be here next week. We'll be on again at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And look out for December 19th when we have our top 30 of all time within One Piece. So with that being said, my name is Larry.
Law.
Seb!
And Lionel. Jana!